we are live. NashvilleLou Live back on the air. It's Tides Tuesday, March 25th, 2025. I'm your host, Lou Pickney. For the next 3 hours, we're going to have Twitchy Tides. We're giving away some Twitchy Tides Series 4.1 packs, the last of those that I have left, and other fun prizes ahead. ScurvyBot is giving out Nash Cash, still at that introductory rate. 5 Nash Cash every 10 minutes. There's a 15-minute cooldown between digs, but no dig pass required here. At least not the way it is now. Maybe I'll have a change of mind at some point, but I'm trying a few different variables. Trying to get some contrast as far as what some others are doing. I'll get in. Normally I'd wait to get in, but I'll go ahead and get in here with the Lulu fish. So we need 10 players for a game that'll count for the leaderboard. We'll have a raid here before too long from MJ Owns You. Give a brief look at start of the show there, the streamer lineup. Oh, the raid from MJ. We'll be doing a raid over to Cartman Bra. That's coming up 1 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time. But for the next 3 hours, we'll have Twitchy Tides and Tides Tuesday. One programming note for next week. This time next week, I'll be either calling or just finishing up calling an NCAA men's lacrosse game taking place up at the University of the South. Swanee Tigers men's lacrosse. Love calling those games. There's one Tuesday night game on the schedule this year, and that's coming up a week from tonight. So I'm hoping maybe a week from Wednesday. I'm hoping maybe there'll be a spot that'll open up, even if it's just an hour or two. We'll figure something out. But then back in this same spot 2 weeks from now with Tides Tuesday, getting back on track with that timing-wise. So just the 1 week with the broadcasting conflict. And that'll happen sometimes. That's working in sports broadcasting. They're not going to set the schedule based on how things work out for you. I've been fortunate as far as the scheduling has gone the last few years. And there's, of course, going to be conflicts with it anytime you've got some sort of thing like that going on. They've been relatively minimal. I love calling those men's lacrosse games. They're so much fun. That's an intense sport. So we have 7 players in for this first Twitchy Tides game. For this first game, we'll be giving away a Consumer Break 5 pack, along with an item from the NashvilleLou collection. Coming up later in this hour, we'll be giving away a Twitchy Tides Series 4.1 pack. Got 3 more of those left to give away. Also got a scarce fish I'll be giving away in the 3rd hour. Hey, thank you for being here, Funkin' Crypto. Greetings and welcome, everybody. We got ScurvyBot giving out Nash Cash. We got 7 players in right now for this first Twitchy Tides game. We'll get an early one started here if we get to 10. If not, then once we get that raid from MJ Owns You, at that point we'll be good to go. I posted in the Twitchy Tides Discord request, if possible, have an option to turn off kills on this lobby screen, for lack of a better term, this kind of warm-up area. Because there may be times where I'll cut back to this when I'm playing something else, and maybe I've only got 5 or 10 seconds to show it. And if half the fish are dead, that kind of, I think there's risk for confusing people. Maybe it's not going to be possible to do that. I don't know, but put in the request. We'll see. We're 8 people in for this first Twitchy Tides game. When we get to 10, we're ready to go with it. Many thanks to Las Vegas Ape, who organizes Tides Tuesday. There's a lot that he has to do as far as juggling schedules or plans changing or last-minute things that happen. Just for everybody, the real-life things that happen that can cause difficulties, or maybe you have to miss, or whatever the case may be. He's done a great job with it. So it's Tides Tuesday here on NashvilleLou Live with Twitchy Tides. Posted an update to my NFL mock draft on MockDraftNFL.com earlier today. Flipped it back. I had thoughts of the Jaguars with Tyler Warren, tight end out of Penn State, but more and more it's looking like Mason Graham, really good defensive tackle out of Michigan, to Jacksonville. It fits an obvious need for the Jags. I've been going back and forth on that. Switched it a couple times, but now switched it back. A lot of talk that the Jets really like Tyler Warren at 7. But who knows? I mean, it's all conjecture. Because a lot of these decisions at the very top still haven't been made. Like the smart money's not in yet for Cleveland, so I think Cleveland's still doing their due diligence. These pro days are going on this week. Like, it's interesting to see Abdul Carter as a betting favorite over Shadur Sanders, but it's not like it's some sort of major thing. It's not like with Cam Ward, where it's like, it's all but chalk at this point. He's going number 1. And it's interesting the way that things have changed so rapidly in American college football. Really good quarterback prospect out of Georgia named Carson Beck. He was expected to go into the NFL draft. They thought, well, maybe be a day 2 pick or maybe a little bit not round 1. So instead of going to the pros, he had the choice because he stayed in college. He got to pick where he wanted to go. His girlfriend's in Miami. He transferred to Miami. They did a great job getting Cam Ward from where he was like, well, we'll see how he does in the draft, to like doing a 180 coming back. The guys are getting paid. The reporting I saw was $3 million for Carson Beck, and who knows what other incentives might be involved. But it's interesting to me that Carson Beck has more agency over his location and what he's doing than he would be if he were to be in the NFL draft. So we have 8 players in right now for that first Twitchy Tides game. We need 10 for a game that'll count for the leaderboard. Make that 9. Below Nadu 6. And there's the raid. Thank you for the raid, MJ. Greetings and welcome, everybody. It's NashvilleLou Live. Y'all are just in time to get in for this first Twitchy Tides game of the broadcast. Exclamation mark play in chat. I'll get you in. Scurvy Bot is live, no dig pass required. Giving out Nash Cash, still got that introductory rate going. 5 Nash Cash every 10 minutes, 15-minute cooldown between digs. The last check, I still had more than 1,300 items in the dig pool. All right, let me go ahead and pull the overlay down because we're waiting to get past 10. We're well past 10 now with the crew coming in from MJ. We'll give just a quick look at the programming schedule, that streamer lineup. I'll be with you until 1 a.m. Eastern. That pink's a bit bright, isn't it? I didn't really take that into account till... Anyway, you see the streamer lineup there, really hits. It'll get your attention if you're looking through some thumbnails, if nothing else. So that's the streamer lineup for this week. Eastern Daylight Time on those hours. All right, 18 players in. Let's take the overlay down. I'm already in there. Hey there, I420. Greetings and welcome. So 18 players for this first Twitchy Tides game. For the winner, Consumer Break 5-pack, plus an item from the NashvilleLou collection. By win, prize goes to second place. Take just a moment to take in the variety of fish in the mix. There's some tremendous artwork in Twitchy Tides. This game is so much fun. All right, 21 players in. And this first Twitchy Tides game of the broadcast, 22 in, begins now. Good luck. Welcome to Tides Tuesday. I love Tides Tuesday. Thrilled to have you all with me here. Right away, Pink Felicia up top. Sting, Zach Bonifer, and Random King. We're down to 20. So coming up later this hour is Again, Pink Felicia cutting through, taking out Jamie Penguins and Parrot, down to 18. Later this hour, we'll be giving away a Twitchy Tide Series 4.1 pack. I got 3 left in my inventory. We're giving all 3 away between now and 1 a.m. Eastern. We're going to have another one of these Consumer Break 5 packs to give away. Also a 20 pack. That'll be in our third hour. We got a Scarce Fish to give away in our third hour. All sorts of fun ahead. Not so fun for Asteroid Eater, me, and Funko Lover. We're out. We're down to 13. It's Pink Felicia. Dragon Rider got stung. Felicia got dealt with at that point, but the damage done. Down to a dozen. Pink Felicia again. Stings Bo Reddington and Liquid Chill. So we're down to 10. More than half the field is out. But for the remaining players, you've earned a top 10 finish. Leaderboard points. Get closer to that end of the month. That monthly competition. It might get to pick up a bit. I would anticipate. Meanwhile, Cannonball going high, taking out Hagwinch. MJ owns you. And Nadu 6. We're down to 7. Debo the Shark's ground level going left to right. Debo exits. And for the moment, 7 remain. Up top, Cannonball. Well timed. I think it was a frostbite there. It spun, but that Cannonball's still dangerous, and it took out Bent. We're down to 6. Watching some of Bent SW Pop Lover stream the other day. So many creative people in the world of wax. Pink Felicia stings I-420 and Cabinarna. We're down to the final 4. Too High, Azile, Funkin' Crypto, and White Lightning. It's tough to read the small font. And now it's Debo again near ground level. There goes Too High. Done in by the sharp teeth of Debo. Down to the final 3. Azile, Funkin' Crypto, and White Lightning. Up top, a Cannonball again. This one's going to miss everybody. It's Tides Tuesday here on NashvilleLou Live. Thrilled to have you with me here. Here comes Pink Felicia going right to left. Felicia stings White Lightning. Felicia takes out Funkin' Crypto, and that's the game. So congratulations, Azile, the winner here in our first Twitchy Tides game of the broadcast. Good game. All right, so for Hagwinch on up, it's a top 10 finish. All the way to number 1. And your winner, Azile 2023, victorious. Back open now for our next Twitchy Tides game with exclamation mark play in chat. We got Scurvybot giving out Nash Cash. And dig is a 15-minute cooldown between digs, but no dig pass required. Our third hour, I'll be giving away a Rip Current Ricky. That's a Scarce Fish. That's going to go to one of the winners we'll have coming up later on in the broadcast. In total, we'll have 3 of those Series 4.1 packs to give away between now and 1 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time. So go ahead and get in for this next game with exclamation point play in chat. Did a little bit of work with the graphics earlier. Hasn't been just a whole lot of time for me with it, but put Lulu in there next to the Twitchy Tides logo in that bottom left. Lulu is my unofficial mascot here on NashvilleLou Live, particularly when it comes to Twitchy Tides and Tides Tuesday. Fun to have Lulu in the mix. I'm doing great, Jess Tony. How are you doing? I miss anybody in chat, it's not an intentional slight. I find that, especially on Tides Tuesday, chat gets churning. And sometimes I'll go back later and say, oh, I missed that. I wish I could have responded. I need to remember to tell that person that later. So for next week, I hope to have some sort of a Tides Tuesday broadcast, but I've got a Swanee Tigers men's lacrosse game I'll be calling. I've got one this Friday and then back up there for Tuesday of next week. So it's April Fool's Day, but it's not a joke. I feel like I have to say that every time, so unless anybody, for some reason, think that would be a joke. If nothing else, it's a way to remember. It'll be a little bit different. But I love this time slot. Got a great lead-in with MJ. Got Twitchy Tides, which is fun. There are people that just listen. You don't have to play. You can just listen and watch and lurk. Like with The Sims 3, there are people that will just listen to me. I'll fall asleep listening to me sometimes. Hopefully not like in a boring them kind of way. But that's what I hear from people. All right, so 16 players in. I'll go ahead and take the overlay down. I'll join as well by typing !play in chat. I'll use, done with the Lulu fish before. I gotta use Lulu here. I don't have to, but I will. So 17 play. It only seems right to. Seems fitting. All right, so 17 players in for this next Twitchy Tides game for the winner. The prize is the Warsaken Camo card, plus an item from the NashvilleLou collection. If I win, prize goes to second place. And this second Twitchy Tides game of the broadcast begins now. Good luck. 17 players in for this game. And right away, it's Krabby Mike, taking out Azile and Fawny T. Azile was the winner of that first game. First one out here. You know how it goes with Twitchy Tides. Meanwhile, Big Worm the Hook on that right side takes out Terran Lore and Nadu 6. Down to 13. It's Debo. Debo the Shark. Chomps away. White Lightning is out, so is Zach Bonifer. We're down to 11. Welcome to Tides Tuesday here on NashvilleLou Live. A fun 3 hours ahead. Or less than 3 hours now, between now and 1 a.m. Eastern. Depth charge. Takes out Zach Bonifer, JR since 82, and Cesaro NLV. I'm out as well. Big Worm with a hook. Remaining players, you've got a top 10 finish secured. You're getting leaderboard points. Of course, the better the finish, the more you get. Who's going to be the winner? Here comes Pink Felicia. Ground level stings Flower, as well as Jess Tony. And we're down to 6. Pink Felicia stings Funkin' Crypto and Hagwinch. We're down to the final 4. Dragon Rider, Liquid Chill, Jamie Penguins, and Bo Reddington. The last 4. Glad to have all y'all with me here for Tides Tuesday. Pink Felicia stings Dragon Rider and Jamie Penguins, and we're down to the final 2. It's Liquid Chill and Bo Reddington. The last 2. A cannonball sneaks in by the coral, takes out Liquid Chill, and that's the game. So congratulations, Bo Reddington. Victorious here in this second Twitchy Tides game of the broadcast. So for Cesaro NLV on up, a top 10 finish. All the way to number 1 and your winner, Bo Reddington, victorious. Just like that, back open for our next Twitchy Tides game. !play in chat will get you in for this next game. Later this hour, I'll be giving away a Twitchy Tides Series 4.1 pack. In total, we got 3 to give away over the course of the broadcast. Already given away 1 Consumer Break 5 pack. We'll have another in our next hour. Also ahead, we'll be giving away a Consumer Break 20 pack. We got that coming up as well. But Rip Current Ricky, I think, is perhaps the most notable aside from the packs. Put that in from my personal collection, and it's a giveaway. The Scarce Fish, Rip Current Ricky, that's coming up later on here with Tides Tuesday. So it's exclamation point play in chat to get in for this next Twitchy Tides game. Got Scurvybot giving out Nash Cash. No dig pass required. 100% success rate on the digs. Now, maybe you'll like what you get, maybe not. Wide variety of things you may get. But the thought behind it is that it gives everybody a chance to get something that wants to. And not everybody wants to go through the step of getting a wax wallet. They've made it a lot easier now. It's not that 5 wax barrier that I think was intended to stop botting. And maybe it did, maybe it didn't. But I think it stopped a lot. That was like a barrier to entry, that stumbling block. And so they've done away with that. Anyway, it should make it easier for onboarding, which is something that's desperately needed. Have so much fun with Twitchy Tides. And the easier you can make it, and that's one thing that's great though, you don't have to have a wax wallet if you want to play for fun. If you're just watching somebody stream, hey, I'll do it. Okay, give me a fish. The game will assign you a fish and you can play for fun. Everybody that wants to participate gets to. It's interesting to me to see a lot of different approaches that people are taking. There's so many creative people in this realm. A lot of ideas are being tried out or being worked on, and it'll be interesting to see them in action. But I haven't done a broadcast. I mean, men's lacrosse, I don't have Twitchy Tides at halftime. My worlds can only collide so much with that. But when it comes to the stream here, everything I've streamed since I first played Twitchy Tides, I've included it with it. I would have a very difficult time trying to stream a game that needed a delay. Like if Blockchain Brawlers, if I really wanted for some reason to start streaming that again after 2 years, I wouldn't be able to do that the way I'd want to as far as live content. Because with that, if you're not using a delay, you're going to get stream sniped or be paranoid that you might be. Persistently sus otherwise. We've got 12 players in for this next Twitchy Tides game. Last chance to get in for this one with exclamation mark play in chat. And Scurvybot's giving out that Nash Cash. Not legal tender, but it's what you use to dig. It's only 10 Nash Cash to dig, at least the way it is now. Some of this is a learning thing for me, saying, okay, what works, what doesn't. And at some point, that introductory rate with the Nash Cash, we'll keep it flowing for the subscribers. It'll still be going for everybody, but certainly a higher amount for subscribers. But the initial part, I just want to try it out, see what the interest level is, etc. So we got that Nash Cash going. All right, 12 players in. Let's take the overlay down. Last chance to get in with exclamation point play in chat for this game. And this time, here's the 3 spot. Game Day. I don't know if Game Day actually has an ability. It says though in chat, you see it there. Game Day, D-A-E, like Day Day. I thought it was clever. Between that and Octopus Prime, that's like legitimately clever stuff, if I can say it properly. It's more clever than it was clear there. 16 players in for this third Twitchy Tides game. So for the winner, the prize will be a Warsaken Camo card, plus an item from the NashvilleLou collection. The prizes will be sent out shortly after the conclusion of the broadcast, and those will be sent from my Fulfillments wallet on Wax. So 17 players. If I win, prize goes to second place. And this third Twitchy Tides game of the broadcast begins now. Good luck. It's Tides Tuesday here on NashvilleLou Live. Big worm of the hook. Takes out Jamie Penguins early on. We're down to 16. There's a lot more to Twitchy Tides than what I get into usually on stream. But that's because this particular element fits so well from a live streaming standpoint. Up top, Debo the Shark. Debo takes out Dragon Rider. Down to 14. It's Krabby Mike doing the wall crawl. Cabin Arna's out. I'm out as well. My game day got busted up by Krabby Mike. And many thanks to Pop Paragon, who gave me those Series 4.1 packs to give away. Really appreciate Pop's generosity. Debo took out DeBoer JS, got spun around, then took out Funk and Crypto. The minions got a receipt there on Debo, but after the damage was done. We're down to 10, so remaining players, you've got a top 10 finish. Depth charge, 2 highs out, so is Bo Reddington. We're down to 8. More than half the field is out. Big Worm of the Hook, Jess Tony is out, so is Azile. Down to 6. Debo was coming in, but that ghost command from Panda Chan sent Debo back in the other direction. Likewise, Big Worm wanted no part of that ghost. Got spooked off. Maculio, thank you for the follow. Thank you. Greetings and welcome. Krabby Mike sneaking in behind the breaking news. Doing Krabby Mike type things. Took out Random King and Panda Chan. We're down to 4. Was Fawny T, I-420, Hagwinch, and Zach Bonner for the last 4. Now it's Pink Felicia. Hagwinch, perfect timing of that Quake command. Fawny T gets zapped by Pink Felicia. As does Zach Bonifer. We're down to the final 2. See what Hagwinch had planned over there behind the logo. It was Hagwinch and I-420. Now right here is going to be a tough spot for Hagwinch. Krabby Mike with the claws, and that's the game. So congratulations, I-420 spit 710 fire. The winner here in this third Twitchy Tides game of the broadcast. Watching some I-420 spits broadcast earlier. For Tides Tuesday, it's a multi-day event, a multi-streamer event. It's not just me with the 3 hours. For 2 high on up, it's a top 10 finish. All the way up to number 1, and your winner, I-420, victorious. Back open now for our next Twitchy Tides game with exclamation mark play in chat. Exclamation point play get you in this next Twitchy Tides game. If you want to hear me call an actual real-life sport this Friday at 8 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time, I'll be calling Swanee Tigers men's lacrosse against Southwestern. I've got a Swanee broadcast Tuesday next week, so I won't be in my normal time slot. It's April Fool's Day, but it's not a joke. So hopefully there'll be a spot on that Wednesday for me, if timing allows. We'll figure something out, hopefully. So we're open for this next Twitchy Tides game with exclamation mark play in chat. We got Scurvy about giving out Nash Cash. Able to dig every 15 minutes. No dig pass required. And 100% success rate. It's interesting for me this time of year with the NFL draft because there's so much conjecture and opinion that is really irrelevant to what I do. I focus very closely on the first round of the NFL draft, and that's it. I'm not an evaluator. I tried to be. I'm not as good as the people that really do it. Or where I was good, didn't really matter because you're trying to get the feel of what the NFL scouts, the NFL teams are going to do, how they're seeing it, etc. Although you're going to have as many opinions as you will, different people involved. A lot to parse through. But a lot of people, I think, got into the mock draft side because they're evaluators. They want to look and make a big board and give you lists and all. That was never it for me. I threw a mock draft together for fun 22 years ago. And now here I am. And I'm part of like my identity. Like if you look up on Google, really didn't seem to know anything about me when I looked earlier. I don't know what was up with that. But I looked on Bing, and Bing had Lou Pickney's mock draft says this and this, and it was all right. I was like, man, this Bing AI, here we go. It's 2025. And I was just looking, it wasn't like a vanity search per se, but I was just looking to see if that MockDraftNFL.com, how it was showing up in the index, or the indexing with how it showed up in the search results. In other words, somebody's looking for me, because there are people that look for me because of the listing over on Huddle Report. I've had a lot of success there. I mean, I could have a terrible year this year. There's no guarantees with this stuff, but I've done well enough that people seek me out. All right, 10 players in for this next Twitchy Tides game. Make that 11, make that 12. Exclamation point play, I'll get you in for this next game. Coming up later this hour, we're giving away a Twitchy Tide Series 4.1 pack. Until we got 3 of those to give away between now and 1 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time over the next 2.5 hours. Also ahead, be giving away a Scarce Fish Rip Current Ricky. Give you a look that can stand the bright pink. I had Rip Current Ricky by chance. I thought it was a cool looking image used last week with a black background. Okay, want to use this for a prize for tonight, so let's make it look different. So I thought, okay, bright pink will look different. But you see the streamer lineup. I'm talking with I420 who just won there. He was on before MJ. It's been an all-day thing. It started with Dr. Doom Monday night. I mean, it was Tuesday UTC, but boys, there's a ton of interest in it. People love streaming it. It's my number one show. It almost immediately became my number one show here on Twitch. I thought it was too much to do 2 of these in 1 week, but when I have one special spot, and this is it, I think it's worked out well. I've loved it, and the response has been tremendous. All right, let's take this overlay down. 13 players in for this next game. And the credit on all this goes to the artists involved. Some tremendous artwork in this game. And even when you have different artists and different approaches, it all feels like it fits within this same universe. Nothing feels out of place. And there's new elements being added all the time. It really keeps it interesting. It makes you wonder what's next in a good way. And Pop Paragon's done a tremendous job of listening to the audience, taking feedback. Sometimes there are things mentioned just in passing on live streams, and then they get implemented into the game. It really is something to see it. But it's been so much fun. It's been such a positive for me with Twitch and my NashvilleLou live stream. There's no 2 ways about it. It's been a home run hit. All right, 16 players in for this next Twitchy Tides game. For the winner, the prize, a Warsaken camo card, plus an item from the NashvilleLou collection. If I win, lobster, says CMC. If I win, prize goes to second place. All right, my notes are up to speed, and this 4th Twitchy Tides game of the broadcast begins now. Good luck. Welcome to Tides Tuesday here on NashvilleLou Live. Big War with a hook. Azile is out, so is Terran Lore. Early on, we're down to 14. Up top, Pink Felicia stings Fawny T and Cesaro. We're down to a dozen. I didn't get in, did I? That's a blunder. You know, I didn't hit. I see here in chat. Exclamation point, I didn't hit the chat button. What a blunder. Well, meanwhile, Jess Tony's out for the halibut out as well. We're down to 10. Remaining players, you got a top 10 finish. How did I let that happen? Right? It completely botched the end of it there. Pink Felicia takes out Zach Bonifer and Dragon Rider. Half the field is out. We're down to 8. Depth charge. There goes Jamie Penguins. We're down to 7. Candy Cannon. What a maneuver. Depth charge. Funko Lover is out. Down to 6. CMC gets taken out by that depth charge. We're down to 5. It's Tides Tuesday here on NashvilleLou Live. An uppercut of a cannonball shot takes out Billy XBT and Random King. We're down to the final 2. It's Too High and Hagwinch. Up top, Krabby Mike. Sharp claws. Krabby Mike with that wall crawl. Well timed by Too High with Slippery. As also having Candy Cannon played by Hagwinch. So for the moment, the enemy kept at bay. A spin move by Too High, precariously close to Big Worm in the hook, and Too High makes it around. Now can Hagwinch get enough of an angle here to avoid the worm? Nope, that's the hook and that's the game. So congratulations, Too High, the winner here. In this 4th Twitchy Tides game of the broadcast. So for Zach Bonifer on up, a top 10 finish, all the way to number 1, and your winner. Too High 74, victorious. Back open now for our next Twitchy Tides game with exclamation point play in chat. So again, next week, I won't be here in my usual spot. I've got NCAA men's lacrosse broadcast I'll be calling. But I'm hoping there'll be something that'll be available on that next day, on that Wednesday. So even though it's April Fool's Day, it's not a joke. You can look on SwaneeTigers.com and look at that men's lacrosse schedule, and you'll see there really is a Tuesday night. You can hear me call it when I call it. Anyway, so that's coming up for me next week. So hopefully a Wednesday spot. But back here in this normal Tuesday, 10 p.m. Eastern, with Tides Tuesday, 2 weeks from tonight on April 8th. April creeping up here. 2025 starting to zip right along. So it's exclamation point play. Type that in chat, and unlike me, make sure you hit enter. Hit return with a chat button if you're like me looking at OBS Studio. Take another look at this as the lobby fills up. We'll take a look at this streamer lineup. Again, many thanks to MJ for the raid earlier. We were raiding over to Cartman, brought 1 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time. So, a little more than 2 hours from now. I'll have you for the U.S. overnights, 5 hours. Then Tricky Creates. See what Tricky's got going on. From Las Vegas Ape into Mortal Wombats, Master Owl, I Mahala, FFS Kitty, and then Vulnerability Agents. So there's a lot of people involved, as you can see there on that lineup sheet. I'm just part of it here with this 3 hours. I love being part of it. It's so much fun. 11 players in right now for this next Twitchy Tides game. You can get in as well by typing exclamation point play in chat. I was amused earlier watching Welsh NFT's stream. He's got the costumes. He really gets into it with that. And there's so many things you can do as a streamer to make it your own, to be creative. If you can work out the technical side and you can envision it. Just things that were never possible before in the typical world of broadcasting. Or like, you could never get somebody to sign off on that actually being allowed. As far as some of these ideas that might be great ideas if you just had the proper way to distribute it. And when you've got a limited number of channels, okay, that's 57 channels on your cable 25 years ago is one thing, but now with the internet, it's just the volume of what's available, the sheer scale of it. It also makes it difficult for any one thing to stand out or stick out. But I've talked about this before, but to learn how to do video editing, I essentially, to actually do that, I had to break into the TV news business. You actually get a job in the business to learn, be taught very quickly with the Betamax SP tape-to-tape editing we had when I started at ABC 25 in Evansville, Indiana. The studio actually in Henderson, Kentucky, but, you know, just across the river. May of 1997. Yeah, that's a long time ago from now. And yet the summer of 1997, I have so many good memories. I don't know what would have happened if my buddy Brad Shoemaker hadn't lost his housing. He had to go back home for the summer. That was his job. So he had to leave town, so I took his gig and just never gave it up because they gave me some, like right away, I got some really nice opportunities. 19 years old, and they had me producing their Friday night high school's football show, which was not some sort of like small thing. It was a big thing. They promoted it like crazy. It got big numbers. Anyway, point is, like, to get something on the air with that, you would have to get a lot of people to sign off on it to the point that you're probably just not going to bother because, okay, while you're working on this, we got deadlines. Where's those VOSOTs? We got the packages. Are we recording the 7:30 from ABC? I got to hate all of that sometimes. If I forgot to start recording the tape, now it's just digital, just on demand. But back in the day, it was when they, ABC News Now or whatever the feed was called, they would give you the rundown. You better have that tape recording. You're going to get the office over that, as it were. All right, 16 players in for this next Twitchy Tides game. You used to DJ online radio, Dragon Rider? Yeah, I did WUEV radio. And I did a lot when I was in college. The TV gig, radio, wrote stuff in the newspaper to make people angry. I got a lot of heat back then for stuff. But like now, like the relevance wouldn't even be there now. Who would care? You know, because there's so many outlets. It annoyed me though that my stuff would get edited for the paper. And so I found writing online where I don't have to answer to anybody but myself and my audience. That works so much better. Like in newspapers, even like in high school, I had it seems so arrogant, but I mean, this is me just going in and being willing to do whatever. There was an opportunity with the Tennessean, which is still like the big newspaper in Nashville. I had a music review section in the Teenage on Saturdays, like the living section, the D. I think it was like if sports was C, that was the D section, it's living. Because the Nashville Banner, the old afternoon paper, I didn't know this at the time. It was like that was Saturday was their big day, so it was like a little bit more fluff and filler for that Saturday. But I didn't know the difference at that point. Anyway, great opportunity, but I didn't they would rewrite even for high. Now, great, I'm sure the rewrite was better than what I had. You know, these are professional writers of the Tennessean, but it was just interesting. Like, I didn't like the headlines they would come up with. Like, it wouldn't be like I would even have a chance to put my input on it. It'd be like, you know, I don't want people to think I wrote that. So now, look, if I wrote something stupid, it's on me. I can't, because there have been issues when I was in TV, writing for websites. And some unfortunate typos that happened that somebody made an edit to a story that I wrote. You know the word county? Think of that without the O. I had to call a 11 p.m. producer. You got to change this. This is my name on it. Just because Phil or whoever it was that botched it, of course, not going to take the blame. I don't want to get heat over it. So they fixed it. Nobody cared. But I wasn't going to let it happen where it's like, okay. At that point, I was a lot more hesitant to actually put my name. At that point, it was like WSAZ staff. All right, let's take the overlay down. 18 players. And if I go on too many sideboards here about broadcasting stories of days gone by, this time I'll actually remember to get in. You got to hit the enter key. It's an important part of this. Let's go with the Octopus Prime, which I think is a clever name. One of the new ones from the Series 5 rare fish. Got that out of a pack. All right, so for this next game, 19 players in. For the winner, prize is a Warsaken camo card, plus an item from the NashvilleLou collection. By win, prize goes to second place. Or we got Scurvy about giving out Nash Cash. We're gonna get, you can dig, no dig pass required. Every 15 minutes is the cooldown, but besides that, 100% success rate. Trying some different variables with that, seeing what the response is, seeing how it goes. 20 players in for this next game. And this next Twitchy Tides game, the 5th of the broadcast, begins now. Good luck. Blue goes squirrely, says Zach Bonifer. That's true. Big warm of the hook. So right away, Jamie Penguins, Walk the Grid, Space, NFT Steve, and Dirac are all out. Down to 16. Where's one for Octopus? It's like Tentacle. It's a longer one. I don't know if it'll tell me. The chat stuff needs to be updated, I think. It'll tell me I don't have one, I think. Not even tell me the ability. Well, doesn't matter now. Cannonball took me out. Before the Halibut, Hagwinch, Funkin' Crypto, me, Funko Lover, we're all out. We're down to 11. It's Tides Tuesday here on NashvilleLou Live. Debo the Shark. Cesaro NLV is out. Remaining players, you got a top 10 finish. Bo Reddington's out. We're down to 9. We're later this hour. We're not that far from top of the hour. We're giving away a Twitchy Tide Series 4.1 pack as the depth charge takes out Zach Bonifer and Too High. Down to 7. In total, we got 3 of those Series 4.1 packs to give out. Got a Scarce Fish to give out in that third hour coming up. All sorts of fun ahead. A Consumer Break 20 pack, along with a 5 pack. We had Debo the Shark showing up, working the low side. They got roasted by Nadu6. Now a Baby Shark party. Keep in mind I have the music turned off due to the copyright monsters. It was the music. They can't be reasoned with. They can't be trusted. So at least you still got the disco ball and the fireworks. The battle continues. Debo the Shark. CMC skis out. We're down to 6. This is Twitchy Tides here on NashvilleLou Live. It's Tides Tuesday. A #1 show here on Twitch. Depth Charge takes out White Lightning and Random King. We're down to the final 4. Jess Tony, Azile, Dragon Rider, and Nadu6. Up top, Debo. Freeze by Jess Tony. Debo takes out Nadu6. We're down to the final 3. It's Azile, Jess Tony, and Dragon Rider. Debo eliminates Azile. We're down to the final 2. Jess Tony and Dragon Rider. TwitchyTides.io is the website for Twitchy Tides. Learn more about it at TwitchyTides.io. Big Worm the Hook takes out Dragon Rider, and that's the game. So congratulations, Jess Tony, the winner here in this 5th game of the broadcast. Of course, the all-important leaderboard points for the top 10 finishers. That's for Bo Reddington on up. We get closer into the month, that competition. Those top spots get intense. All the way up to #1 and your winner, Jess Tony 19, victorious. All right, back open for our next Twitchy Tides game. I'm going to go ahead now and take my hourly break. It'll be about a 5-minute break. On the other side of this break, of our next Twitchy Tides game, where the winner is going to receive a Twitchy Tides Series 4.1 pack. In total, we got 3 to give away between now and 1 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time. So about a 5-minute break and then back with more Twitchy Tides here on Tides Tuesday. NashvilleLou Live. Stay tuned. right, back on headset with you here on NashvilleLou Live. Got 17 players in for this next Twitchy Tides game, where the winner is going to receive an item from the NashvilleLou collection, along with a Twitchy Tides Series 4.1 pack. In total, we have 3 of those Series 4.1 packs left to give out. Give them all out here between now and 1 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time. Quick look there at that streamer lineup. We'll be right over to Cartman Bra a little more than 2 hours from now. But at the moment, we got some Twitchy Tides to play. We got Scurvy Bot giving out Nash Cash. People able to dig every 15 minutes. 100% success rate. No dig pass required. At least the way I've got it set up now. Let's take the overlay down. Make sure you actually get in. Earlier, I typed exclamation play, then never finished it, and then missed out. That was on me. What a blunder that was. Let's get in there with the Inferno Nessie. One of my personal favorites. There's such a wide variety of fish and other aquatic life. They're all classified as fish, even if you're talking about Buster Beaver or even a submarine. Or fish for the, or fishies, depending on the nomenclature, for the purposes of Twitchy Tide. So 20 players in. Winner gets that Series 4.1 pack and the item from the NashvilleLou collection. If I win, the prize goes to second place. And the 6th Twitchy Tides game of the broadcast begins now. Good luck. 20 players in. Right away, Debo strikes. Bottom left part of the screen. Parrot is out. So is Dragon Rider. Down to 18. Debo sent back in the other direction, but the damage done. Most of the enemies I have capped at a maximum of 2 kills per appearance. It's 3 for a cannonball, as evidenced there. Hagwinch, Loire, and DeBoer.js all taken out by that cannonball. We're down to 15. What is that? Rampage there from Dirac. Look at that. That's like a reverse version of one of those enemies, the newest of the bunch, Krabby Mike. It's a reverse wall crawl. Meanwhile, Debo's like, I'll do this old school left to right. Takes out Random King along with White Lightning. We're down to 10. Half the field is out. Remaining players, you've got a top 10 finish. I can do an Inferno spin if I can last long enough. Let's forget to do that part of it. There we go. There's the Inferno spin. Pink Felicia, Zap Felicia there. She took out Drac in Aegis 2017. Before the Flames got to her, and so damage done. We're out down to 8. Make that 6. Silent One and Jess Tony. Pulling up with that depth charge. Up top, Cannonball. Before the Halibut's out. Funko Lover's out. I'm out. We're down to the final 3. Zach Bonifer, RCP ADG, and Fawny T. Big Worm the Hook. RCP ADG is out. And we're down to the final 2. Zach Bonifer and Fawny T. Zach with that Ghost command. With that Swimsley fish against the Neon Leon from Fawny T. That Neon Leon hits the depth charge, and that's the game. So congratulations, Zach Bonifer. Victorious here in this 6th Twitchy Tides game of the broadcast. So you win the item from the NashvilleLou collection and the Series 4.1 pack from Twitchy Tides. Congrats. So for Drac on up, a top 10 finish, all the way up to number 1 and your winner. Zach Bonifer victorious here in Twitchy Tides. Back open now for our next Twitchy Tides game, exclamation mark play. And chat will get you in. We approach 11 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. Quick reset as players start to file into the lobby. Watching NashvilleLou Live. I'm your host, Lou Pickney. I'm a sports broadcaster by trade. I found myself in this amazing world of live streaming. Having so much fun with Tides Tuesday, even that very pink-looking slate. You see that streamer lineup. And this isn't just 1 or 2 people doing this. And many thanks again to Las Vegas Ape who organizes it. So many people involved. I know there's plans for even more. Looking forward to seeing what the future holds. But for the short-term future, I'll be with you for the next 2 hours. And we'll raid over to Cartman Bra. We'll have 5 hours after that. 8 players in already for the next Twitchy Tides game. You can get in as well with exclamation mark play in chat. Now on the other side of 11 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. Say coming up later this hour, be giving away that second Twitchy Tide Series 4.1 pack. We got 2 more of those to give away over the course of the next 2 hours. Got a Consumer Break 5 pack will be given away later this hour. Got a Consumer Break 20 pack will be given away in that 3rd hour. I try to backload it. Want to have cool prizes and all, but trying to have it where the best is there toward the end of anticipation. I appreciate everybody taking the time to watch, to listen. If you lurk, have it on the background. Glad to have you here. A lot of fun being part of Tides Tuesday. We got ScurvyBot giving out the Nash cash that people are using to dig. So for next week, it's April Fool's Day, but it's not a joke. I really do have a men's lacrosse broadcast on Tuesday evening at 8 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time over on SwaneeTigers.com. If that's so you want to check out. So I'm not sure. Somebody will be in this spot, though. But I'll be back in 2 weeks. And there's the link. I love calling those men's lacrosse games for Swanee. Lacrosse is seen more and more as not just a regional sport anymore. Like here in the state of Tennessee, boys and girls lacrosse was added as an official TSSAA sport for the first time. I mean, not to sit here and sell you on something different, but that's what I've got going. I've enjoyed it for a sport that I'd never seen in person before. I had to call an NCAA tournament broadcast back in 2022. I just had so much fun. They're so nice to me up there. Here I'm an outsider, basically. But they've been nothing but nice to me up there and welcoming. And it's so beautiful up there on Monteagle Mountain. Man, I love going up there. Special treat getting to do that. I never take it for granted. 12 players in for this next game. Take the overlay down. I'll join as well with !play in chat. This time I'll use the Rainbow Soul the Catfish. I've gotten that one spot. Remember, with your Twitchy team, you can set 5 different fish for numbers 1 through 5. It makes it easy, as you've probably seen here with these broadcasts, for myself and for others. I just switch between fish. If you're watching multiple streamers that are playing, you want to use one fish for one, a different fish for a different one, you can do that. One of the great things about Twitchy Tides is the customization you can do with it. You can make this your own. This is the one standalone show that I do with Twitchy Tides, but it's an accompaniment for any other game that I stream. And the only way it wouldn't be is if I had to use some sort of a delay. But that's all the more reason for me to not play games that need a delay. There's enough fun ones. Play The Sims 3 and go into the night a few times, and people will stick around and listen, and they get to play some Twitchy Tides. I'm sure I actually got in this time. A couple of games ago I thought I did, and I didn't hit the enter button or the chat button. There I am, okay. 16 players in for this next Twitchy Tides game, the 7th of the broadcast. For the winner, prize a Warsaken camo card, an item from the NashvilleLou collection. 17 players. If I win, prize goes to 2nd place. And this 7th Twitchy Tides game of the broadcast begins now. Good luck. This is Twitchy Tides here on NashvilleLou Live. Pink Felicia stings Azile and Dragon Rider. Early on, we're down to 15. Up top, Depth Charge takes out Silent One. We're down to 14. It's inexplicable to me that we can't choose Twitchy Tides as a game, even now. This is 23 weeks I've been doing this show, and we still have to put strategy games. I'm not going to put crypto. It's not about crypto, but this awesome game. But some people do choose to do it that way. It's their choice. You've got tremendous latitude as a streamer. The Silent One, White Lightning, Random King, Drac, all out, and we're down to 11. Krabby Mike. Krabby Mike takes out Fawny T and Cesaro NLV. We're down to 9. Remaining players, you've got a top 10 finish. Too high with that Venom command. Got a receipt there on Krabby Mike. But again, the damage done. And here comes Debo. Speaking of damage, those sharp teeth of Debo. Zach Bonifer's out. I stole the catfish, made it around. Not a lot of room to spare. Minions. Those minions are like inside linebackers in the NFL. Look at that, directly there to make the stop. The best blockers you can have at some points. Oh, there's an irony when the minions go after Krabby Mike because Krabby Mike is unable to kill King Claw. JR since 82 is out, and we're down to 7. It's Tides Tuesday here on NashvilleLou Live at a depth charge. That takes out Funko Lover. We're down to 6. So again, next week, somebody different will be in this spot for Tides Tuesday. I'll have a men's lacrosse broadcast that evening. Hopefully a week from Wednesday, there'll be a spot for me. We'll see. Meanwhile, Debo takes out Jess, Tony, and Buzz King. We're down to 4. Ages 2017. Too High. Funkin' Crypto. And my Rainbow Soul the Catfish. The final 4. And there's Debo. Funkin' Crypto is out. Down to 3. Debo takes out my Soul the Catfish, and it's down to the final 2. It's Too High. And Ages 2017. The last 2. Depth charge, spin move by Too High. A freeze by Too High, and the depth charge disappears just as Aegis approached it, so the battle continues. You never know what to expect as that cannonball, slider shot, zips on through, misses both remaining players. There's a certain unpredictability to any given game of Twitchy Tides. I think is a low-key part of the appeal. Up top, Krabby Mike with a wall crawl. Can Aegis get the bounce in time? Nope, can't make it on the bounce, and that's the game. So congratulations, Too High. Winner in game number 4, and now the winner here in game number 7. For the first multi-game winner thus far in the broadcast. And for the top 10, Cesaro and LV on up. Leaderboard points all the way up to number 1. And your winner, Too High 74, victorious. Back open now for our next Twitchy Tides game. Exclamation point play. Type that in chat. Hit enter. Or chat or whatever the button is on your phone. However it's set up. I think for this next game, let's go ahead and give away that other Consumer Break 5-pack. Gave away one in our first hour, so we'll have that be the prize here for this next game. The Consumer Break 5-pack, plus an item from the NashvilleLou collection. Got Scurvy about giving out Nash Cash. Exclamation point dig. If you've got a linked wax wallet and you've got at least, 10 Nash Cash to dig, you can do so. 100% success rate. And maybe you'll like what you get, maybe not. You'll get something. So 11 players in for this next game. You can join as well by typing EXCO 13. I was looking at the other screen. On a slight delay there. So 13 players in. Coming up later this hour, we're giving away a second of those Twitchy Tide Series 4.1 packs. We'll have another to give away in that third hour as well. In addition, my personal collection, giving away a scarce Rip Current Ricky fish. That's coming up later on in the broadcast. There's a look at Rip Current Ricky there. Pink background sold separately. I used the same image last week for the slate, so I thought, okay, I'm going to use the same one again because I wanted to give this one away as a prize. So, okay, I'll make it stand out. That pink is a bit bright. You see that streamer lineup. Again, many thanks, Las Vegas Ape. Managed to set this all up and adjust as need be. We got some great people in the mix. Love being part of it. Glad to have you here with me. Got 13 players in for this next Twitchy Tides game. That Consumer Break 5-pack. An item from the NashvilleLou collection going to the winner. Las Vegas Ape, hey. Things here are going great. How you doing, man? talking about that, go back to it real fast. So that streamer lineup, how much I appreciate the work you've done with this. It's on a weekly basis. That's keeping everybody on the same page and handling things that come up last minute style. You do a great job with it, man. So thrilled to be part of it. This is my #1 show here on Twitch. People love Twitchy Tides and Tides Tuesday. They hop on that train early on. Some of them, they ride for hours and hours. We got Scurvy Bot giving out Nash Cash. Remember to dig. No dig pass required. 100% success rate. All right, 15 players in. Let's take the overlay down. I'll make sure I join this time. I'm going to double and triple check after I missed it earlier. Legit on-air blunder. I used a Lulu fish. Lulu's my unofficial mascot here on NashvilleLou Live, particularly for Tides Tuesday. All right, so 18 players are in for this next Twitchy Tides game. The winner gets an item from the NashvilleLou collection, plus a Consumer Break 5-pack. 19 players in. If I win, the prize goes to second place. All right, so my notes are up to speed. 19 players in for this 8th Twitchy Tides game of the broadcast, which begins now. Good luck. 19 players in. Big Worm. Big Worm got to run off. Not sure it was the trail command from Jess Tony, but something happened that spooked off Big Worm. Meanwhile, Krabby Mike, a little more brave, takes out a Zyle and 4 the Halibut. We're down to 17. Got a Love Bug car, equipped for underwater use. Got King Claw, you've got a Santa hat, you got Swimsley, and you've got Krabby Mike. Krabby Mike takes out Zach Bonifer. Krabby Mike takes out my Lulu fish, and we're down to 15. And look at that charge right there, that rampage. That's the name of the command that Drac is using there. There's so many fish, I don't know the names of all of them off the top of my head. Like an American football game, I'm calling it. The rosters are going 2 pages deep. Look real fast, remember 88 is scrambling around. Where's the second page? For a moment there, we had Krabby Mike, but ironically, the minions will go right after Krabby Mike and take him out, even though Krabby Mike is unable to kill King Claw. Pink Felicia has no favorites when it comes to zapping people. Panda Chin and Fawny T taken out. We're down to 13. It's Tides Tuesday here on NashvilleLou Live. Bouncing up and down. This white lightning. Yeah, sometimes you get unusual patterns. Again, that rampage. Clearing the sides. No stragglers. No hangers on. We had a depth charge, but those minions took care of it. That's like the best security force in the game. Immediately. Like, before you even see it, they've already moved to take action. But keep in mind, King Claw is a legendary tier fish. You may see quite a few of them because they're very useful, but there's not just a ton of them around. The hook takes out White Lightning. We're down to 11. Like, for nearly anyone, you're not just going to luck into a King Claw. You've got to really put in the effort to get it. Depth charge. That takes out Jamie Penguins. Random King as well, though Random King did get a top 10 finish out of it, as have the remaining players. More than half the field is out. We're down to 9. Big Worm. It looked like Funko Lover's about to get hooked with the minions. Managed to stop that from happening. Depth charge. Well, Random King's out. Funkin' Crypto's out. Now we're down to 8. Cannonball. That Cannonball took out Dirac. Cesaro NLV, and Dragon Rider. We're down to 5. Keep in mind, you can customize that as far as the maximum kills. Cannonball takes out Jess, Tony, and Bo Reddington. We're down to 3. You can make it where there's not a cap. You can really see Krabby Mike do some damage that way. Depth charge. Hagwinch is out. Buzz King is out. And that's the game. So congratulations, Funko Lover. Victorious here in this 8th Twitchy Tides game of the broadcast. You win that Consumer Break 5-pack, plus an item from the NashvilleLou collection. Time just flies by for me with this Tides Tuesday. It was so much fun. Random King on up, a top 10 finish, all the way to the number 1 spot, and you're a winner. Funko Lover 30, Victorious. Back open now for that next Twitchy Tides game. Exclamation mark play, and chat will get you in. And hello to everybody watching over on Kick. Twitch is my primary focus, but I do have a simulcast on Kick. There are places where you can't get Twitch, so for those people or anyone just wanting to watch there, that is an option, although chat's not allowed there, except for emotes. But clearly I try to encourage people to come over to the Twitch side, but some people watch there, and I say hello to them just like I'm saying hello to all of you. Thrilled to have you here with me on NashvilleLou Live on Tides Tuesday with Twitchy Tides. Get into this next game. It's exclamation mark play in chat. One of the great things with Twitchy Tides is that this game holds a lead-in, unlike any game I've ever streamed. Like The Sims 3 with Twitchy Tides, that's pretty good too. That holds pretty well, but this is on another level. I'm greatly appreciative of the strong lead-in I have with MJ Owns You. It makes a huge difference. And that's, to me, what I've come from the world of television, from radio, and just thinking of the way promotional stuff from those worlds. And it interests me to see what other ideas are being spitballed and worked on and tried out. Like with ScurvyBot, all the different ways that you can utilize that. I'm saying, okay, well, there are a lot of people with dig passes, a lot of really cool stuff out there. Well, that's kind of a crowded field, so what if I go with, you don't have to have a dig pass? And that's what we're trying, at least with this initial approach to it. Maybe I'll have a change of heart later. I don't know. But everybody gets the dig that wants to. You get a 100% success rate. I think back to the peak of actual interest in blockchain brawlers. There was a digital giveaway that there was never going to be any sort of utility for. It's called a Brawler Vision. And people like freaking out, wanting that thing. I'm like, you understand, there's no value. You can't transfer it. It's not an NFT. It's not anything like that. It just sits there. They still wanted it. And that was eye-opening to me. Well, things didn't work the way I wanted with brawlers, and I still think that game, the core game, is brilliant. If they was get the nonsense out of there, they could have a good game and explain to people how it works, but that's another story for another time. I got a game here right now that people like. It's Twitchy Tides. Got 12 in right now for this next game if you want to join. Just type exclamation mark play in chat. The point being is that people like to win things. And maybe there'll be some great things you'll pull. Maybe there'll be things to go, okay. But you get something, and that's the thought behind it. I don't want to be over the top, and I don't want to annoy people with it. As far as talking about ScurvyBot. But I want to make sure people know, because some streamers, are quite a bulk even, have dig passes. And sometimes it's tough to tell if one does or doesn't. So I try to make it clear. Hey, look, you've got a wax wallet. Now there's a nice sort of, you don't have to pay the 5 wax anymore to start one. So it makes it easier for people that don't have one. They're like, okay, what is this wax wallet I've been talking about for 4 years, Lou? I don't understand. But I like the fish game and want to play. If that's you, it's very easy to get a wax wallet. Even if you don't want that, though. Because that's a step, an extra step that's going to stop some people that otherwise might participate. But you don't have to even have that to play. All you need is to hit exclamation point play. The game will assign you a fish and you can play for fun. And I go back to that point frequently, but because I think it's important. Everybody that wants to play gets to. It's not Web3 versus others. It's not this bubble on Discord. I'm going to be started on that. Although there's a great Discord community with Twitchy Tides. I want that to sound negative toward them. It's just the world of Web3 gaming has been stunted for the past 4+ years because of Discord hiding otherwise valuable marketing information from the world on search engines. I spend all day and all night with the SEO and trying to get my new website pushed, my MockDraftNFL.com, trying to see what's working, what's not, people responding. And then I look at stuff that's on Discord, doesn't get out to the world. I'm like, this is your marketing idea? Why don't you just yell in a closet? And I'm not wrong on that either. Not to hurt anybody's feelings, there's 1,000 different ways to do things. Some people find some wonderful things with Discord. You can have some great communities there. But man, you gotta get the word out there. And that's why I love Twitchy Tides. I bring this to the world. When your game is ready to go, I'm not talking Tabletopia. I'm not talking about somebody. There's a place for that for certain people. That's not me. When that thing is ready to go, you let me bring it to the world and we'll have some fun with it. Speaking of fun, let's try to give this Inferno Nessie. We're getting there with that. 20 players in for this next game. So for this 9th game of the broadcast, the winner gets a Warsaken camo card, plus an item from the NashvilleLou collection. If I win, prize goes to 2nd place. Like for me, because again, it's working hours and hours on this tedious website stuff, making sure the canonical link is correct, that I didn't copy something over wrong. That's hard work, tedious work. This is fun to me. Even the technical stuff when it goes wrong. This is still more fun than that's just grinding right along. So sometimes when I'm like listening or watching to several streamers at once, that's a lot of times me doing like otherwise very tedious work. So it's fun to have Twitchy Tides on, even in the background. Anyway, so enough of the sidebar with that. 22 players in for this next game. If I win, prize goes to 2nd place. And this 9th Twitchy Tides game of the broadcast begins now. Good luck. 22 players in. Coming up later this hour, be giving away another one of those Twitchy Tides Series 4.1 packs. And there's that Rampage. I'm a big fan of that Rampage command there. I think he's going to clear the sides out. Meanwhile, Cannonball. With Jess Tony's out. Azile, Dirac, and Hagwinch. Down to 18. Get the Love Bug bouncing around. Bit of a bumpy ride. Pink Felicia was heading in. I'm not sure if it was a Blaze, it was the Ghost, one of those commands. Up top, Cannonball. It takes out Dragon Rider, around to 17. Let's see if we can pull up an Inferno spin. It's easy to do when you have a 0-second lag. Unfair advantage. I try to time it where you like are in a centered spot. Anyway, it's one of my favorites in the game, so I like using it on stream. I love that the variety of fish. Again, it's not that difficult to switch in and out. Depth charge up top. And that takes out Kyung Wei. We're down to 16. It's Debo the Shark underneath the Twitchy Tide sign, taking out Funko Lover at Aegis 2017. The Shark beats the car. We're down to 14. Although I would think underwater a shark would have an advantage versus unless you got a land shark. That's an entirely different thing. Up top, Cannonball. Got sent back in the other direction by that Ghost command from Zach Bonifer, that Swimsley fish. It's Tides Tuesday here on NashvilleLou Live. So much fun with this. Debo. Not so fun for Zach Bonifer and JR since 82, getting zapped by Pink Felicia. We're down to a dozen. So again, to be determined for next week with Tides Tuesdays. That Cannonball. Parrot is out. Half the field is out. We're down to 11. But I'll have a Swanee Tigers men's lacrosse broadcast. I've got one this Friday night at 8 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time, then one that's going to be a conflict on Tuesday with Tides Tuesday. But back in 2 weeks in this spot. Depth charge. There goes my Inferno Nessie. We're down to 8. And look out up top. It's Krabby Mike with a wall crawl. Krabby Mike takes out Jamie Penguins. We're down to 7. Krabby Mike takes out Too High. We're down to 6. This is Twitchy Tides here on NashvilleLou Live. Again, think about how great how fun this is. When you don't even have a category for Twitchy Tides, and this is my dominant #1 show. Pink Foliation is not impressed or even interested in my viewership numbers. They're Distinct Waxtails and Buzz King. We're down to the final 4. It's For the Halibut, Funk and Crypto, Cesaro NLV, and White Lightning, the last 4. Make that 3. White Lightning gets hooked by Big Worm, and we're down to the final 3. For the Halibut, Funk and Crypto, and Cesaro NLV. Cannonball. At Cannonball, got a glancing shot to take out Funk and Crypto, and it's down to these final 2. Cesaro NLV. For the Halibut. Cannonball, dangerous there. Came close to For the Halibut, but not quite, and the battle continues. Here comes Debo. Debo the Shark. Cesaro uses that Lambo command. Get that ATM off screen, then making it rain. But Debo misses both remaining players, and the battle continues. For the Halibut and Cesaro NLV. Big Worm the hook. See if they're just to the left of that Twitchy Tide sign. The hook takes out For the Halibut, and that's the game. So congratulations, Cesaro NLV. The winner here in this 9th Twitchy Tides game of the broadcast. And so for Bo Reddington on up, a top 10 finish, all the way to #1. Your winner, Cesaro NLV, victorious. Back open now for our next Twitchy Tides game. Game number 10 of the broadcast. Exclamation point play. We'll get you in. Coming up later this hour, we're giving away a Series 4.1 Twitchy Tides pack. We'll have another to give away at our next hour as well. In addition, in our next hour, we're giving away a Rip Current Ricky. My personal collection. Somebody's going to win that between now and 1 a.m. Eastern. That'll be coming up in our 3rd hour. Already have 11 players in for this next game. You can join as well by typing !play in chat. Got ScurvyBot giving out Nash Cash. Again, that's not legal Tinder, but you can use that to dig with ScurvyBot every 15 minutes. No dig pass required, 100% success rate. So my hope is to have some sort of a broadcast tomorrow evening U.S. time. So around this time tomorrow. Because for Thursday, I'm going to be busy doing prep work for that Swanee Tigers men's lacrosse broadcast that I've got Friday evening up at Swanee. Got a school out of Texas, Southwestern. Their first year in the conference, and making what looks like this big road trip to get up here. So I'm looking forward to seeing more. I'm calling the game for Swanee, but I do the research for everybody. Always done it that way. It's not doing that is it's not acceptable, not to me anyway. But it's an interesting story. So they've got a good team. Southwestern does, so it should be a good game. That's Friday, 8 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time, over on SwaneeTigers.com. Here we've got 15 players in for this next Twitchy Tides game. We've got ScurvyBot giving out Nash Cash. Got 2 more of those Series 4.1 packs to give away. Got that Scarce Fish to give away. Quick look at the streamer lineup. Doing a raid over to Carbon Bra. Almost halfway through my 3-hour allotment. Time flies. Here comes the Tides Tuesday and Twitchy Tides. So Carbon Bra, Tricky Creates, Las Vegas Ape, Mortal Wombats, Master Owl, Imahala, FFS Kitty, and then Vulnerability Agents. That's what's coming up this it's Tides Tuesday, but it's multi-day, multi-streamer. I love being part of it. And it's my #1 show here on Twitch. Look at that fish for Funkin' Crypto. I think maybe I'll talk about that in chat. I didn't really see it until now. That caught my attention. There we go, the neon glow. Look at that. What's the name of that fish? Okay. Put you on the spot. That's one that I would look into. As far as like, see what's available with that, or how to, because there's so many of them that are blends, or maybe they're not even available. So I'm like, oh, they look great, but there are only 10 of them and you don't get one. But there's such a wide variety. It's really, it's with the Gloria Glow. Huh. Interesting. Again, there are always, it's seemingly always new and interesting things being added to Twitchy Tides. Great artwork in this game. Even the animation. It's a little thing, but it helps you to suspend your disbelief because, like, okay, they are swimming around in there. Not just a static image. But it's not ridiculous. It doesn't spin the screen around. It doesn't make me motion sick. I implore streamers, please be careful with the videos when you choose the green screen. Because some of that stuff, I can't watch your videos. I can't watch your streams. I've got to pull up another window because the stuff makes me motion sick. Now, I realize I'm more susceptible to that than most. But just keep in mind that there are trade-offs on that. But that's the thing. It's your stream. You can do it your way. And I love that latitude you have with live streaming. That's just not the case in traditional broadcasting. How do I register a fish? Through the website, twitchytides.io. Unless you're asking a question about something else. All right, let's take the overlay down. Exclamation mark play. I'll use the 3 spot, which for me is game day. The purple day, which the purple will be my brand color. And that's an homage to my high school and college alma maters. Father Ryan High School in Nashville, University of Evansville in Evansville, Indiana. Both schools, their primary school color was purple. That's not why I went to those schools, but that's just the way it worked out. Okay. Got to rep that in the logo. So that's why I have purple as my color. It works out great for the Swanee Tigers broadcast because purple is their main school color as well. I have an inordinate amount of purple in my wardrobe, so it's really handy when I call those games. Already got the right look to go with it. All right, let's take the... Already took the overlay down. Let's not take the logo down. That would be if I did that. There'd be nothing up except for the twitchytides.io in that right corner. So we'll leave that. All right, did I actually get in? Yes, I did. Okay, yeah, of course, the game day. All right, we got 20 players in for this next Twitchy Tides game. For this 10th game of the broadcast, the winner will receive a Warsaken camo card, plus an item from the NashvilleLou collection. If I win, prize goes to second place. In this 10th Twitchy Tides game of the broadcast, up to 22 players. It begins now. Good luck. It's Tides Tuesday, NashvilleLou Live. Thrilled to be with you here. There's that neon glow command. Funkin' Crypto. Quite the glow. And then a baby shark party. And again, because of the copyright monsters, I've had to deal with so much nonsense. I've avoided dealing with it because I don't press game music at all. Except when I absolutely have to. When I'm absolutely sure. Anyway, so thus far, everybody's still in. 22 players in. Of course, that didn't last long. Big Worm strikes. That hook takes out Jess, Tony, and Funkin' Crypto down to 20. No, says Funkin' Crypto. Those are the breaks. Sometimes you get knocked out early. Dragon Rider and Bo Reddington. The chompers there from Debo. Again, because the maximum kills for Debo I've got set at 2. Debo gets to be given the run around there a bit, but not a danger to take anybody else out. There's the hook from Big Worm. Dirac is out. We're down to 17. Get those minions from King Claw ready to go into defense mode. Presume Pink Felicia's trying to make an entrance on that left side. Admission denied. Now Debo going right to left, bottom part of the screen. Hagwinch is out. So is White Lightning. Down to 15. Depth charge. It takes out 4 the Halibut. And Cesaro NLV. We're down to 13. Got Scurvy about giving out 5 Nash cash every 10 minutes. No dig pass required. Debo the Shark. Eliminates Aegis 2017 and Jamie Penguins. Half the field is out. Down to 11. Now Pink Felicia. Up top going left to right. Sting's silent one. We're down to 10, so remaining players. You've secured a top 10 finish. You'll get leaderboard points out of this. Look at those minions. What action there at top right side. Now it's Big Worm the Hook, Las Vegas Ape, and that Vape Ape gets taken out. We're down to 9. Now it's Debo the Shark up top. Debo gets Parrot and RCP ADG. We're down to 7. Cannonball. A rising shot takes out my game day. We're down to 6. Cannonball. There goes Zach Bonifer. We're down to 5. Still to come this hour, we'll be giving away a second of those Twitchy Tide Series 4.1 packs. Have a third to give away in our next hour as well, along with a scarce fish. That Rip Current Ricky. Someone's going to win that between now and 1 a.m. Eastern. The hook is set there from Big Worm in the middle. There goes Random King. We're down to the final 4. Panda Chan, Funko Lover, Young Wei, and Wombat Warriors. I have to squint to look at the small font. Cannonball takes out Funko Lover. We're down to the final 3. Hyung Wei, Wombat Warrior, Panda Chan. Warning for Debo the Shark. Got that ghost command from Panda Chan. That's Swimsley fish. I should probably work into the rotation more. It's a powerful fish. Kind of got that Snidely Whiplash look to it. It's purple. It checks the boxes for me, but there's a whole bunch of great fish you can choose from at Twitchy Tides. Cannonball up top misses everybody. It's Tides Tuesday here on NashvilleLou Live. Thrilled to have you here with me. That ghost command's powerful. I mean, look at those enemies getting scared off. Eventually they will return, though. As noted. Here comes Debo. Working near ground level, going right to left. Sneak out behind my logo, but Debo misses everybody. The battle continues. You're on Tides Tuesday. Love Tides Tuesday. The hook, Big Worm. There goes Kyung Wei. We're down to the final 2. Panda Chan and Wombat Warrior. The last 2. Debo. It's Debo the Shark. Panda Chan with a freeze. Debo's going to miss both players. The battle continues. Panda Chan and Wombat Warrior. The ghost command again in effect. Here comes Debo. See if Debo gets scared off. Perhaps a non-factor. Debo just exits the screen. It was Panda Chan and Wombat Warrior. What a battle we're having here. Big Worm's got the hook. Can Wombat get past on that bounce? Nope, there's the hook, and that's the game. So congratulations, Panda Chan, the winner here in this 10th game of the broadcast. Congrats. Keep in mind, prizes will be sent out shortly after the conclusion of the broadcast. Those will be sent from my fulfillment swans on wax. So for Las Vegas Ape on up, a top 10 finish, leaderboard points, all the way to number 1. And your winner. And your winner is Panda Chan. Just like that, back open for our next Twitchy Tides game. Exclamation point play in chat will get you in. Still to come later in the hour, we'll be giving away that second series 4.1 pack. Got a third to give away in our next hour. Got a Rip Current Ricky. We'll be giving away our next hour as well. We got a Consumer Break 20 pack. We'll be giving away as well in our next hour. The things are lining up quite nicely. Quick look at the lineup. Taking this to 1 a.m. Eastern. So, again, time just flies by. It's like, well, blink and it's less than an hour and a half until we're doing the radio to Carmen Bra. That'll be 1 a.m. Eastern. Carmen's got a 5-hour span. Then 5 hours for Tricky Creates. Got Las Vegas Ape, Mortal Wombats, Master Owl, Imahala, FFS Kitty, and Vulnerability Agents. That's the remaining lineup for this week's Tides Tuesday. And remember, next week, it's April Fool's Day, but it's not a joke. I really do have a men's lacrosse broadcast Tuesday of next week, so to be determined on if I can work in a Wednesday spot. Hopefully so. But then back 2 weeks from tonight on April 8th in this normal spot, and then should be good from there. All right, 14 players in. It's exclamation mark play in chat to get into this next Twitchy Tides game. We're now below 1,300 assets in the dig pool. In that 100% success rate. And again, I could change these things in the future. Some of this I'm just testing out, seeing how it works, but kind of like it like this. So we're open for the next Twitchy Tides game with exclamation mark play in chat. Now this is interesting. Okay, I think they changed the time. What a rip. I'm looking at it right now because it was not a 3 p.m. start time for that Tuesday. That's still going to be, I don't know, I've got to talk to Las Vegas Ape. Do some research after the broadcast. It'll be Swanee against Randolph-Macon. I've never called a Randolph-Macon game before. It's Division III NCAA, and a lot of these schools, because Evansville's Division I, so I never really called a lot of these schools at all, just because it's different divisions. Anyway. Well, breaking news for me there, it's, unless that itself is some sort of an April Fool's joke, but I don't think they would joke about the start time. Anyway, so that's interesting. So it's Friday. I'll be calling Swanee against Southwest University, SwaneeTigers.com. Then Tuesday, 3 p.m. Central Daylight Time against Randolph-Macon. And then we'll see for Tides Tuesday next week. That's a new development. All right. So we got 20 players in for this next game. Put the schedule down, pal. We got some Twitchy Tides to play. I'll get in here with exclamation mark play. I'll use the Octopus Prime. It's one of the new Series 5 fish, a rare. I got that out of a pack. All right, 22 players in for this next Twitchy Tides game, the 11th of the broadcast. For the winner, the prize is a Warsaken camo card, plus an item from the NashvilleLou collection. If I win, the prize goes to second place. And this 11th Twitchy Tides game of the broadcast begins now. Good luck. Welcome to Tides Tuesday here on NashvilleLou Live. Debo the Shark takes out Walk the Grid and Funko Lover. Early on, we're down to 20. And we're still to come in this hour. Somebody's going to win a Twitchy Tide Series 4.1 pack. Big War with the Hook takes out Benny Alien and Azile. We're down to 18. We'll have another 4.1 pack, the last of the bunch, to give away in our third and final hour for my portion of Tides Tuesday. Bo Reddington making it rain with a Lambo command. We got that Rampage there from Dirac. Funko Lover showing up the neon glow. All this new and interesting stuff that's been worked into the mix. Meanwhile, that Cannonball takes out Panda Chan, takes out my Octopus Prime. Bonnie T out as well. Half the field is out now. We're down to 11. Well, there's the Hook over there. Wombat Warriors out. Too High is out. Remaining players, you've got a top 10 finish. We started with 22. We're down to 9. Up top, Pink Felicia stings Jess Tony. Bo Reddington was trying to take that Lambo out of town. Got stung before the escape. We're down to 7. Depth Charge. There goes White Lightning. Down to 6. That Rampage. That's like the fish answer to the Krabby Mike wall crawl. The Hook, Big Worm, takes out Funkin' Crypto and Parrots. We're down to the final 4. Dirac, JR since 82, Random King, and Zach Bonifer. There's Krabby Mike. And there goes JR since 82. Zach Bonifer. Nice timing with a Ghost Command. With insurance there. Risky situation being close to Krabby Mike. It's Dirac, Random King, Zach Bonifer, the last 3. TwitchyTides.io is the website to learn more about this very entertaining game. Random King gets taken out. The Krabby Mike, Zach Bonifer gets the claws as well, and that's the game. So congratulations, Dirac. Rampage your way to victory there in this 11th Twitchy Tides game of the broadcast. All right, so my notes are up to speed. For Too High on up, it's a top 10 finish. All the way to number 1. And your winner, Dirac 25281. Victorious. All right, back open for the next Twitchy Tides game. And this next one, the winner's going to receive an item from the NashvilleLou collection, plus a Twitchy Tides Series 4.1 pack. I'm going to take my hourly break now. It'll be about a 5-minute break. On the other side of this, we're going to have that next Twitchy Tides game. Somebody's going to win that Series 4.1 pack with another giveaway in that next hour as well. We're giving away a Scarce Fish in that next hour, a Consumer Break 20 pack. All that between now and 1 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time. Back in just a few minutes. Thrilled to have you here with me on Tides Tuesday. Twitchy Tides, NashvilleLou Live. Stay tuned. All right, back on headset with you here on NashvilleLou Live. We got 19 players in for this next Twitchy Tides game. Last chance for you to get in, and you'll want to because for the winner, the prize is an item from the NashvilleLou collection plus a Twitchy Tides Series 4.1 pack. Got this and one more to give away in our next hour. And that's it as far as that stash goes. Many thanks again to Pop Paragon for generously donating these packs for me to give away here on stream. Greatly appreciate it. I never take it for granted. Glad to have it. Glad to have all y'all here with me. Tides Tuesday. It's my #1 show here on Twitch. Let's take the overlay down. I'll join with !play. I'll use the Lulu fish. It's in the 2 spot of my Twitchy team. If you're in this lobby area right here, for lack of a better term, and you want to see where you are in a moment, !ping, P-I-N-G. Your fish will get twice as large. Like, I didn't pick a good time with it going behind the total players bar, but you see it there for my Lulu fish. A little pulse behind it, help you find it. If you're playing one of those consumer break games, Breakman's got 100 deep in there. It can especially be helpful if you're not sure where your fish is. So you're trying to determine which fish you've got in the mix. So 22 here for this next game. For the winner of the prize, as noted, an item from the NashvilleLou collection, along with a Twitchy Tide Series 4.1 pack. If I win, that prize goes to second place. I wasn't sure the stream elements thing when I hit ping. I'm going to adjust those settings later. That's a rib. All right, 22 players with a pack on the line. This 12th Twitchy Tides game of the broadcast begins now. Good luck. Welcome to Tides Tuesday here on NashvilleLou Live. Here comes Pink Felicia, Stinging Dirac, and Hagwinch. We're down to 20. I was thinking about it during the break because now that I know that Tuesday men's lacrosse game starts at 3 p.m. Central and not 7, I know I'll have like that. It takes me forever to come down from a broadcast. But then I also know that the exhaustion gets set in too. Maybe I did like a 1 hour, like make a real big 1 hour at the end of that normal slot for me for next week. I'm just thinking out loud with it. So Funko Lover is out. Bo Reddington out. We're down to 18. It's Tides Tuesday. Twitchy Tides. You're on NashvilleLou Live. Depth Charge. I think it was on a delay there. Went off. Funkin' Crypto and Buzz King both got taken out. Down to 16. Krabby Mike took out my Lulu fish. Also clawed out Zach Bonifer. Sounded unpleasant. We're down to 14. Krabby Mike's not worried about pleasantries, except when it comes to King Claw. That King Claw is a legendary tier fish. It's got a special power. It's immune from being killed by Krabby Mike. Cannonball. The Board JS, Parrot, and Dr. Doom all out. Half the field is out. Down to 11. So Baby Shark Party. Again, because of the copyright monsters, I don't go near the music. So no audio, but you got a disco ball, you got some fireworks. Little interlude with half the field still in there, but now there's Pink Felicia. Party's over. Felicia stings Cesaro NLV. Too High as well, although Too High did get a top 10 finish. Now to 9 players. For many players, you've got a top 10 finish as well. Here comes Debo the Shark. Debo got sent back in the other direction. Bonnie T using that Neon Leon fish. A personal favorite of mine. One more powerful command. That flare command. They put those enemies in a real spin. Meanwhile, Jamie Penguins gets taken out by a depth charge. We're down to 8. Creeping up on midnight Eastern Daylight Time here on NashvilleLou Live. Pink Felicia got spun around by Azile. But then back at it, Stinging Kyongwei and Azile. And we're down to 6. And remember, most of these enemies are capped at a maximum of 2 kills per appearance. Where I've got 3 for a cannonball. And you can customize that by enemy, however you like as a streamer. It's wonderful. You have that kind of latitude. Debo going down Broadway takes out White Lightning and Dragon Rider for another 4. Wombat Warrior working the low side for the Halibut, JR since 82, and Fonny T, the 4 remaining. Pink Felicia going left to right down the middle. A narrow path there for JR since 82, but it worked out. Felicia didn't take anybody out. So for the moment, the 4 remain in there. And here comes Debo. On return, takes out 4 the Halibut. We're down to 3. Bonnie T, JR since 82, and Wombat Warrior. That was Krabby. I was just thinking about what's going to happen with Krabby Mike. And at some point, I wanted to try and clear out the perimeter. Bonnie T gets the claws. We're down to 2. Wombat Warrior and JR. Wombat gets the claws. And that's the game. So congratulations, JR since 82. The winner here in this 12th game of the broadcast. You win the Twitchy Tide Series 4.1 pack. Congrats. So for the top 10 for 2 high on up, top 10 finish, all the way to number 1 and your winner, JR since 82, victorious. Back open now for our next Twitchy Tides game here on NashvilleLou Live. The players start to file into the lobby area with their fish. A quick look at that streamer lineup. In less than an hour, we'll be set to do a raid over to Cartman Bra. We'll have the next 5 hours. From there is Tricky Creates, Las Vegas Ape, Mortal Wombats, Master Owl, Imahala, FFS Kitty, and Vulnerability Agents. That's a tall lineup you see right there. I mean, Las Vegas Ape does a great job with organizing this and getting it all set up. So that's what we have coming up with Tides Tuesday. And so for next week, to be determined, maybe I will be able to work like this time next week, maybe that like a 1 hour show or something, because that's with me learning, reading it live on air, that broadcast for April 1st, that Tuesday, it's a 3 p.m. Central start time. So that's 4 Eastern Daylight Time. So that's what I'm thinking for now. I wouldn't want to try chancing it for a 3 hour show. Plus, I mean, this, even when I haven't called a entire men's lacrosse game earlier in the day, my voice sometimes still has a little bit of it gets a little raspy as we get into it. I don't want to bite off more than I can chew, proverbially or otherwise, when it comes to that. So we'll see for next week, but back to normal 2 weeks from now. 11 players in already for this next Twitchy Tides game. You can join as well with !play in chat. Still to come this hour, be giving away a Consumer Break 20 pack. In addition, we have one more of those Twitchy Tides Series 4.1 packs that Pop Paragon generously donated to me to give away here on stream. Greatly appreciate that. Also, for my personal collection, giving away a Rip Current Ricky. That is a scarce fish. Look on the market for it. Just shy of 49 wax. Somebody's going to win one here in the next hour. Got Scurvybot giving out Nash Cash, 5 every 10 minutes. Costs 10 Nash Cash to dig with a 100% success rate. And again, maybe you'll like what you get, maybe you won't, but you'll get something. That's kind of the thought I'm trying here with this, with Scurvybot, but it's been a major positive. People, there was an expectation, a want, a hope, whatever you want to call it, for people. And I think people were coming in here sometimes and I didn't have Scurvybot set up. And they're having a bad experience. And well, we can fix that. Especially because of the great work that Dan Asker has done to get Scurvybot to where I felt comfortable using it. And there's more stuff I know that's in the pipeline that I don't even know the specifics on. I know that there's more to come from people that actually back up their words when it comes to that. You know, it's legit. And it's been such a wonderful thing. There are shortcuts you can use to make things go fast, like giving out prizes. I haven't really delved into that much because I do my giveaways after the show. But for people that want to do it in the moment, you can do it very quickly. You've got so much latitude as a streamer, and you can make it your own. And I harp on that a lot, but that's because 30 years in broadcasting, I know a few things about this stuff. And so when something really grabs my attention, okay, you got 30 years of seeing stuff. This is something new and interesting, and that even more importantly, when they listen to their community, Pop Paragon's done a tremendous job. And the fun just continues to remain there with Tides Tuesday and Twitchy Tides. And again, you can mix Twitchy Tides with practically any game that doesn't require a delay. You be playing Super Mario Brothers, whatever iteration of it you want it to be, the original NES. You can play text-based pro wrestling business games. You can play Fortnite. You can play super popular games. You can play whatever. And you can incorporate Twitchy Tides into it. And I think with all of my broadcasts, if I did or didn't have Twitchy Tides, every time if I do have it, I'll have more people watching because people love it. This game is a draw. Tides Tuesday's a draw, that's for sure. We got 20 players in for this next game. Let me take the overlay down. I'll join with exclamation mark play in chat. Probably give me this Lulu fish. It's my unofficial mascot here on NashvilleLou Live. I'm a big Lulu fan. Similar name to mine. It's purple, so it's on brand for me. It's going to give you the side eye. It's got a cool sounding command with Dream. And that's one nice thing with this lobby area. You can show off commands that, like, so, okay, here's what Dream looks like. It's nothing overly spectacular, a purple halo, but still. I like it. All right, so 21 players in for this next game. This will be, take this. No, I need more than 12 lines for the prizes. This is game number 13. 21 players in. For the winner, the prize is, helps if I pull the screen over here properly. The prize is a Warsaken camo card, plus an item from the NashvilleLou collection. If I win, prize goes to second place. And this 13th Twitchy Tides game of the broadcast begins now. Good luck. It's Tides Tuesday here on NashvilleLou Live. A cannonball working real low side. Took out Pennybags Jr. and Zach Bonifer. Early on, we're down to 20. That spinning depth charge. Ominous. Funkin' Crypto and his Xyle taken out. We're down to 18. Up top, Pink Felicia. Zaps too high along with Parrots. Down to 16. Still to come this hour, giving away another one of those Series 4.1 Twitchy Tides packs. Got a Scarce Fish we give it away. We got a Consumer Break 20 pack to give away. All that between now and top of the hour. Depth Charge takes out White Lightning and Hagwinch. We're down to 14. Make that 12. Big Worm the Hook. Gets Random King and Jamie Penguins. Now Pink Felicia working the low side. Wombat Warriors out, so is Fawny T. We're down to 10. So remaining players, you got a top 10 finish. Use the Dream command here. Old purple halo for a little bit. They bounce some enemies off to come close. I'm up high. Debo, low side, going left to right. Debo the Shark takes out 4 the Halibut. Debo also gets Master Halo. And we're down to 8. Cannonball, that riser of a cannonball shot. Takes out My Fish, takes out Funko Lover and Jess Tony. We're down to 5. And look out now. It's Krabby Mike doing the wall crawl. Krabby Mike. Dr. Doom, you think that turtle with the spinning saw blade would be enough, but not in that case. Also, Octopus Prime gets taken out. Dragon Rider eliminated. So we're down to the final 3. It's Cesaro NLV, Bo Reddington, and Chucky. Got a Lambo, a King Claw. That King Claw's out. We're down to 2. It's Chucky and Bo Reddington. See that depth charge, that ominous blinking red just above that right post, and that Twitchy Tide sign. Finally, it expires. The battle continues. Bo Reddington and Chucky. Big Worm the Hook. Can Chucky get underneath it and around? Nope. Chucky gets hooked, and that's the game. So congratulations, Bo Reddington. Winner in game number 2, and now here in game number 13. A winner once again. Congratulations. Of course, those leaderboard points, very helpful. More and more meaningful as we get closer to the end of the month. People trying to get a top 25 finish or top 75, etc. So for the Halibut on up, leaderboard points, top 10 finish. The higher you finish, the more you get as far as that goes, of course. All the way up to number 1 and your winner, Bo Reddington, victorious. All right, back open now for our next Twitchy Tides game with exclamation point play in chat. And so for this next game, we're going to give away that Consumer Break 20 pack That'll be the prize, along with an item from the NashvilleLou collection. Got about 50 minutes until we do the raid over to Cartman. Between now and then, we got that consumer break pack to give away. Also got that last of the Series 4.1 Twitchy Tides packs. And then that Rip Current Ricky. Scarce. We'll have that between now and 1 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time. We'll do that raid over to Cartman, brah. Watching Cartman stream yesterday. It was actually a good time for me to take a quick peek, as there's still a fish there filing into the lobby area. I know he had some ideas as far as some sort of a March Madness style tournament utilizing auto tides. And this sort of thing I find fascinating, because this is where your creativity can come into play. And okay, what can I do to do something that might be unique or interesting, etc. So I'll be interested to see how that turns out for the people that participate. Hopefully they'll have some good luck with that. I can't quite do that. I've got a Viz Lacrosse game to go call, but I think for people that do participate, hopefully it'll be a good time. I like to see the ideas, the creativity, and use. Again, these are all things that just were not possible before. And with some of this stuff between the world of Wax Gaming and Twitch live streaming, it's just been like this slow roll to get to the point of them intersecting in a meaningful way. And Twitchy Tides has played a huge role in that. But again, you don't have to have a Wax wallet to play Twitchy Tides. You can play for fun. The game will assign you a fish. I don't think that can be overstated enough. So be like, oh, you have to have one of those wallets. Okay, I'm out. And then they don't come back. And I don't want that. And so everybody gets to play. That's not a worry. Now, of course, there's great value in having a Wax wallet. It doesn't mean you don't even have to have the 5 Wax to open one anymore. They've taken out that barrier of entry. But some people don't want to worry about that. And they don't have to. And to me, that's huge. We have 19 players in for this next Twitchy Tides game. This 14th game of the broadcast. A consumer break 20 pack, plus an item from the NashvilleLou collection. That's going to be going to the winner. Got Scurvy Bot, no dig pass required, giving out that Nash cash. An introductory rate, 5 every 10 minutes. Costs 10 Nash cash to dig. 100% success rate. So I'm trying a few different variables with it. There's a lot of very creative people that have been using Scurvy Bot for a while in some cases. And so I'm trying a couple of different things to see, okay, how will people respond to this? And so we'll see. But so far, so good. It's been a positive. People are wanting it. The fans demanded it. I said, okay. Dan Asker got it to where it needed to be, where it's functioning, where I'm comfortable with it. Because I don't want to promote something and have it like fail or just be a mess. And it's worked out, I mean, not to jinx it, but it's worked out well with Scurvy Bot. Love having it here. Love having all y'all here with me here on Tides Tuesday. Love this show. I love Tides Tuesday. 21 players in. I'll make it 22. This time I'll use the Game Day fish, one of the newest ones in the mix. See there? That's purple. It's very much on brand for me. Got the blue. That's like the Tennessee Titans blue to go with it. I'm not sure if it's like wearing goggles or... Is that virtual reality? Are you watching the game out of the corner of your eye? But it's cool. It's something new and different. Just when you think, okay, how many different fish do they have? And even more. And yet it all fits within the same world. It all feels like it fits in place correctly. And that's a tough line to walk when it comes to any sort of game design where you're talking about multiple artists and different ideas and concepts and all that. But this has been such a wonderful game, such a blessing for me from a streaming standpoint. This game holds an audience unlike anything I've ever streamed. And not just for me either. It does that for a lot of people. All right. And again, it's easy to play. I mean, you don't even have to put the commands in if you don't want to. Have a fish that you can root for. It's very good from a fun factor standpoint. So 23 players in for this next game, this 14th game of the broadcast. For the winner, the prize, an item from the NashvilleLou collection, plus a consumer break 20 pack. 24 players in for this game. About 45 minutes left for my run of it for Tides Tuesday. I'm hoping this time next week that I may be able to do like a 1-hour show. Because again, I found out that Tuesday that April Fool's, joke's on me. Hopefully it's not a joke on that start time. It's saying 3 p.m. Central. Now you can look on a map, Swanee, Tennessee to Nashville. Whether you know the specifics of which side of the city I live on or not, it's a doable drive, is my point. But to do that and then come back and do a 3-hour broadcast and be pushing it, but maybe a 1-hour. So I'll touch base with Las Vegas Ape on that. 25 players in. If I win, prize goes to second place. And with that Consumer Break 20-pack on the line, this 14th Twitchy Tides game of the broadcast begins now. Good luck. 25 players in. Right away, it's Debo. Debo the Shark takes out Funko Lover. And that Ghost Command from Zach Bonifer sent Debo back in the other direction. Dirac, that Rampage. That's a well-named command. That's just tearing a path there around the perimeter. Krabby Mike takes out Funkin' Crypto and Cesaro NLV. We're down to 22. This is Twitchy Tides here on NashvilleLou Live. Depth charge. Azile is out, so is Kyung Wei. We're down to 20. Bo Reddington with that Lambo making it rain. Bonnie T, Neon Leon, that flare command. But it's Pink Felicia. Felicia got dealt with, but first took out Jimmy Penguins and Dragon Rider. We're down to 18. Up top, Debo. Debo the Shark. Fawny T is out. Parrot is out. We're down to 16. Remember, there's a 20-pack, a Consumer Break 20-pack on the line for the winner here. We still have another Twitchy Tides 4.1 pack to give away this hour. Still got that Twitchy Tides Scarce Fish to give away before top of the hour as well. Depth charge. DeBoer JS. Zach Bonifer out. We're down to 14. It's Debo. Debo the Shark. That knocks out Jess, Tony, and Dr. Doom. We're down to a dozen. That Rampage again. Up high, it's Pink Felicia. Topside. My Game Day Fish is out, so is Viper Czar. We're down to 10. Remaining players, you've got a top 10 finish. So you're getting leaderboard points out of this. Cannonball. That knocks out Lynn PH and For the Hell of It. We're down to 8. Debo. Debo chomps away, takes out Wombat Warrior and White Lightning. We're down to 6. There's a Consumer Break 20-pack on the line for the winner. Depth charge. There goes DYLC. We're down to 5. Rampage. Dirac. Big Worm, though, striking within that perimeter. The Hook takes out Random King, and we're down to the final 4. It's Bo Reddington, Dirac, Too High, and Chucky. Depth charge. There goes Dirac and Chucky. We're down to the final 2. It's Too High and Bo Reddington. The final 2. With that Consumer Break 20-pack on the line, Too High is out, and that's the game. So congratulations, Bo Reddington. Back-to-back victories. And 3 overall here. So you win here in this 14th game. You win that Consumer Break 20-pack. Congratulations. And, of course, leaderboard points. Top 10 get leaderboard points, but the higher the finish, of course, the more points you get. So for Lynn PH on up, top 10 finish, all the way to number 1 and your winner, Bo Reddington, for the 3rd time in the broadcast, victorious. All right, back open now for our next Twitchy Tides game. Exclamation point play in chat. We'll get you in. take another look at that Tides Tuesday streamer lineup. We'll be doing a raid over to Cartman Bra about 40 minutes from now. And Tricky creates. So Cartman's got 5 hours, and Tricky's got 5 hours. And again, Cartman will have more information, I imagine, on that idea he was talking about with that March Madness-style tournament with the Auto Tides. All sorts of things that are possible that I think we've only scratched the surface with it. So I'll be interested in seeing how that turns out. We got Tricky Creates, Las Vegas Ape, who organizes this and does a tremendous job. Vegas, I can trust that this is going to go in a steady way on a weekly basis. Here now, week number 23, and that's because of the work that Vegas does on it. Great work with that. And then from there, Mortal Wombats, Master Owl, Imahala, FFS Kitty, and then Vulnerability Agents. Got a strong lineup. You can tell how many different people are involved. I know that there's more that's got to be in the pipeline, too. I know Las Vegas Ape's got ideas. We'll see how it plays out with that. We have 16 players in for this next Twitchy Tides game. You can join as well by typing !play in chat. Scurvy Bot's giving out Nash Cash. 5 Nash Cash every 10 minutes. Just for watching me here live when I'm on stream. As long as you have a linked Wax wallet. And you can dig. A Nash Cash, not legal tender, but you can use it to dig. 10 Nash Cash to dig. You can do that every 15 minutes. That's the cooldown for it. And last check, we're below 1,300 as far as the items in the mix. 1270 there. I think it's a 100% success rate. Maybe you'll get something you like, maybe not. But you'll get something. And at some point, I will dial it back with the Nash Cash. But the introductory rate, I want people to be using the Scurvy Bot as much as possible. Try out here, say, okay, let's put a whole lot in there and see how things go from a timing standpoint. So far, so good. 19 players in for this next game. Coming up later in the hour. Still got one more of those Twitchy Tide Series 4.1 packs to give away. Also still have that scarce one of my personal collections to be giving away, that Rip Current Ricky. The scarce. Someone's going to win it between now and top of the hour. For this next game, we got 19 players in. Let me take the overlay down. Working a lot on MockDraftNFL.com, my new NFL draft website. A lot of tedious work with website stuff. Although I do enjoy, it's worthwhile to me, but it's just, the coding doesn't come easy to me. 30 years of HTML, it's still, it's a struggle at times. There's just so much that's possible that we're just on the cusp of here with, between live streaming and gaming and the in-between. All right, let's take the overlay down. I'll make sure I actually join. I managed to botch that earlier. That was rookie mistake there, pal. I'll get into the Rainbow Soul, the Catfish. So 23 players for this next game. For this 15th game, the winner will receive a Warsaken camo card, plus an item from the NashvilleLou collection. If I win, that prize goes to second place. "24 players in, and this 15th Twitchy Tides game of the broadcast begins now. Good luck. It's Tides Tuesday here on NashvilleLou Live, and right away at depth charge. Kyung Wei and DeBoer JS taken out. Early on, we're down to 22. Pennybags Jr. and Chucky are out. Down to 20. Now it's Debo. Debo takes out Walk the Grid and Bo Reddington. We're down to 18. Those minions over there. Helpful level of defense. Depth charge. There goes my Soul the Catfish. Wombat Warrior eliminated as well. So we're out. We're down to 16. Debo showed up. They got sit back in the other direction. A flare command from Fawny T. I'm not sure if that was the one that did it, but looked to be. Too high with a slippery command. And some of these fish I've only seen in bits and pieces and I don't necessarily know all the moves. The hook, Big Worm, takes out Funkin' Crypto. We're down to 15. Look at the minions. Make a beeline, make a direct path for the depth charge. Now it's Krabby Mike. Krabby Mike takes out Jess Tony. Remember, King Claw is immune from Krabby Mike. Random King eliminated as well. We're down to 13. The return of Krabby Mike. Viper Czar was okay, but Funko Lover and Too High got taken out. More than half the field is out. We're down to 11. And those King, I don't have a King Claw. Those are tough to come by. You see a lot of them because they are powerful. The people that they put in the effort to get them. People like Cannonball coming through. White Lightning is out. Jamie Penguins. Parrots. We're down to 8. Remaining players, you got a top 10 finish. Now here comes Debo. Debo the Shark takes out Dirac. We're down to 7. Make that 6. Dragon Rider eliminated as well. We began with 24. We're down to 6. The hook, Big Worm. And there goes Fawny T. We're down to 5. Here comes Krabby Mike. Look out for Krabby Mike. Or King Claw will be okay. Azile gets taken out. We're down to 4. For King Claw, I see, look. No problem. They're hanging out just fine there with Krabby Mike. Those Viper Czar, Swim Dodge Vince, Lynn PH, and DYLC. The final 4. All right, Funkin' Crypto, thank you for watching. Appreciate you being here for it. Lynn PH gets eliminated by Debo the Shark. We're down to 3. Viper Czar, Swim Dodge Vince, and DYLC. The last 3. And now here comes Debo. Debo takes out DYLC. And we're down to this. A pair of King Claws. It's Viper Czar versus Swim Dodge Vince. So Krabby Mike can't kill either of them, but that depth charge could. And Viper Czar get past it. Indeed. Swim Dodge hits the depth charge, and that's the game. So congratulations, Viper Czar gets the win. Holds on there at the finish for the Battle of the King Claws. So for Jamie Penguins on up, a top 10 finish. All the way to number 1 and your winner, Viper Czar, victorious. Back open now for our next Twitchy Tides game. And for this next game, I have 1 Series 4.1 pack left. And again, many thanks to Pop Paragon for the generosity giving me these packs to give away. When I take it very seriously, when somebody gives me something to give away, okay, I want to make sure this is done right. Get top use out of it. And so this is the last one left. And it's going to go to the winner of this next Twitchy Tides game. That's going to be up on the other side of my hourly break. Remember, still to come this hour, we're giving away a Rip Current Ricky, a scarce fish. We get that on the market, it'd be almost 49 wax. Somebody's going to win it in the next half hour. All that ahead before we do that raid over to Cartman Bra, top of the hour. So we'll go ahead now and take my hourly break. Back in about 5 minutes. Go ahead and get in now for that next game by typing !play in chat. It's Twitchy Tides and Tides Tuesday here on NashvilleLou Live. Stay tuned. All right, back from break. Back on headset with you here. NashvilleLou Live. That's my last break of the broadcast. So I'll be riding with you for the duration here. Between now and top of the hour, I'll be giving away a Twitchy Tide Series 4.1 pack. That'll go to the winner of this next game, which will start here in a moment. So if you're not in yet, you want it. And last chance for this game with exclamation mark play in chat. Also, between now and top of the hour, we're giving away a Rip Current Ricky. It is a scarce rarity fish. My personal collection. It's going to go to somebody here between now and top of the hour. Got ScurvyBot giving out Nash Cash 5 every 10 minutes. More for subscribers. But you don't need a dig pass to dig. You don't have to be a subscriber to dig. The 15-minute cooldown. It's 10 Nash Cash to dig. 100% success rate. And again, maybe you like what you get, maybe not. But you'll get something. And that's the idea with it. Trying a different approach. There's so many great streamers that utilize Twitchy Tides and ScurvyBot in particular. Thinking more ScurvyBot with this. And okay, a couple of variables that I could change, and then we'll see how it goes. That's what we have going on here. So, all right, 22 players in. Enough of my filibustering. Let's take the overlay down. I'll join with exclamation point play, and I'll give it that Lulu fish. My unofficial mascot of sorts here for Tides Tuesday. So 24 players in for this next Twitchy Tides game. Game number 16 of the broadcast. The winner's going to get the last of the bunch of that Twitchy Tides Series 4.1 packs, plus an item from the NashvilleLou collection. And remember, later this hour, we got 20 minutes and change left. Got that Rip Current Ricky, that scarce fish to give away as well. But first, for the winner of this game, it's that Twitchy Tides Series 4.1 pack and an item from the NashvilleLou collection. And as usual, if I win, prize goes to second place. Can my voice hold up? Let's see. 25 players are in. And this 16th Twitchy Tides game of the broadcast begins now. Good luck. 26 players in. The winner gets a 4.1 pack. Cannonball. That rise of a cannonball shot. Rose on up, took out Cesaro, Fonny T, and me. Down to 23. Swim Dodge Vince gets taken out by Debo the Shark with that spinning shark. Also took out JR since 82. That's the maximum damage Debo's going to do on this appearance. I've got it capped at a maximum of 2 kills per appearance for most of the enemies. It's 3 for a cannonball. All that you can customize as a streamer, which I love. Grabby Mike. Surly mood, surly disposition. Takes out Panda Chan and Random King. Down to 19. Bo Reddington with that Lambo makes it rain. Zach Bonner for that Swimsley fish. Ghost Command. The powerful one. And look at that Rampage. Rack with that Rampage. And Lin PH and Kyung Wei got taken out in the process there. We're down to 17. That's the return of Debo going right to left. Jess, Tony, and Chucky both eliminated. Down to 15. Here comes Pink Felicia. Stinging Pennybags Jr. and Funko Lover. Now, Felicia getting spun around, but she's already hit her maximum kills for that appearance. Half the field is out now. We're down to 13. So Pennybags Jr. and Funko Lover, the latest taken out there. Depth Charge. White Lightning and Jamie Penguins both eliminated. Down to 11. The Hook, Big Worm, Dirac gets eliminated. We're down to 10. So remaining players, you've got a top 10 finish locked up. And who's going to win that Series 4.1 pack? Here comes Pink Felicia. Zapping OP Influencer and Viper Czar. We're down to 8. The Hook. What timing of that spin move by Bo Reddington. My goodness. Wombat Warrior's out. Zach Bonifer's out. We're down to 6. Here comes Debo. RCP, ADG, and Too High, both eliminated. We're down to the final 4. It's Funkin' Crypto, DYLC, Bo Reddington, and Azile, who's using the Frostbite command. Lambo, Bo Reddington, leaves the screen for a moment. Funkin' Crypto gets taken out by Debo, and then that spinning Debo manages to catch Azile. We're down to the final 2. DYLC and Bo Reddington. One of these 2 players is about to win a Series 4.1 pack. Cannonball narrowly misses DYLC. The battle continues. About as close as it gets on that. Here comes Debo. There goes DYLC, and that's the game. So congratulations, Bo Reddington. What a night you're having, huh? 4th win of the broadcast. The 3rd win out of the last 4 games. That's happened before, but it's unusual, especially when you're having games with, like this one with 26 players. What a battle there. So congratulations, Bo Reddington. You win the last of that bunch of the Series 4.1 packs from Twitchy Tides. So for OP Influencer on up, it's a top 10 finish. All the way to number 1, and your winner, Bo Reddington, victorious. All right, back open now for our next Twitchy Tides game. I've taken my last break. Be riding this all the way up to top of the hour. We do that right over to Cartman, bro. Take a look at that. My voice starts to get a little more scratchy. The streamer lineup. Cartman Bra for 5 hours. Then Tricky Creates for 5 hours. Las Vegas Ape, who organizes this and does a fantastic job with it. He's got it for an hour. Then Mortal Wombats, Master Owl, Imahala, FFS Kite, and Vulnerability Agents. A solid lineup right there. I appreciate that they let me be part of it. I love Tides Tuesday. I have so much fun with this. Got 9 players in for this next Twitchy Tides game. You can get in with !play in chat. Still to come later in the hour. Got that Rip Current Reiki. That's a scarce fish. Or as a rarity. Someone's going to win that between now and top of the hour. We'll try something a little bit different here for this next one. I've got a Jackalope card from Consumer Break. Specifics on this. With a Jackalope, and I'll throw in a dog sketch card as well. So 2 from Consumer Break. Breakman does a great job. He draws big audiences. And yet he manages to be very informative. As we're relying on it's not just a bunch of gimmicks. Like there's legitimately good information. It's helpful for the wax community. Bunch of positives. I love giving away stuff from Consumer Break. Spreading the word about what Breakman does. Plus the West Virginia connection. You know, I got much love for the state of West Virginia. I'm working at WSAZ Television. Still have a lot of friends up there. All right, so for this 17th game, there'll be an item from the NashvilleLou collection, but also a Jackalope and a dog sketch card. Those from Consumer Break. And remember, between now and top of the hour, still have that scarce fish to give away. !play will get you in for this next Twitchy Tides game. I anticipate we'll have this next game, the Consumer Break prize, and then that last, we'll probably have one more after that. And that'll be the one. I'll have a scarce fish on the line for the winner. Somebody's going to win Rip Current Ricky. Somebody's going to win that Jackalope and the dog sketch card in this next game. It's exclamation point play. Let me try that again. Exclamation mark play. If I can say that now after 3 hours. That'll get you in for this next game. So for next week, I might be able to do that last hour. Like this time next week, I might be able to do like a 1 hour show. I'm going to talk to Las Vegas Ape about that and see what, I don't know if something's already planned. I don't know. We'll figure it out. It's just that broadcast for Tuesday. Joke was on me for April Fool's Day because that Swanee Tigers men's lacrosse game scheduled to start at 3 p.m. That's Central, so 4 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time, just for consistency's sake. And it's funny because Swanee is very close to the time zone line for the Eastern Time Zone Central. They're on the Central side, so they're the same as Nashville, even though they're considerably closer to Chattanooga, which is on Eastern. So it's like time confusion, not just for the online community. Like, I should be able to be on the road. I would hope I'd be out of there by, I mean, who knows? There could always be delays. You know, always that caveat. But if I'm out of there by 7 p.m. Central, that's 8 p.m. Eastern. Less than 2 hours to get home, I should be able to do it. Anyway, so I'll talk with Las Vegas Ape. There may be something already lined up, and that won't matter. We'll figure something out one way or another, though, because Tides Tuesday. Note it's more than just a single-day event. Certainly more than just a single streamer event. We're doing a raid over to Cartman Bra at the top of the hour. I'm going to get in for this next game. Last call for this next Twitchy Tides game with exclamation mark play and shout. Try to get with Lulu. Maybe this time. Look at the ping command in chat for Lulu. There we go. Little strobe effect behind. It is helpful to, particularly when you get a game that has a lot of players in the lobby area. Ping. It serves its purpose. It's one of those many little quality of life improvements that keep happening with Twitchy Tides. Pop Paragon's done a tremendous job with this game. All right, 17 players. With the 17th game of the broadcast, make that 18 players in. There was one game earlier where I forgot to get in because I didn't hit the enter button or the click on the chat button. So taking that extra step to be sure this time. Yes, I really have my Lulu fishing. 19 players in. If I win, the prize goes to second place. And this 18th Twitchy Tides game of the broadcast begins now. Good luck. 19 players in. Cannonball. Abrupt way to start. Pennybags Jr., Brazen Blake, and Dirac all taken out. And early on, we're down to 16. The Sorrow NLV makes it rain with that Lambo. Depth charge. That takes out Chucky and Azile. Down to 14. Big Worm the hook. Here goes DYLC along with Fawny T. Down to a dozen. Jess Tony with that trail command. Now Pink Felicia stings Funko Lover and Len PH. We're down to 10, so remaining players. You've got a top 10 finish. It's Tides Tuesday, and it's Big Worm with a hook. There goes Jamie Penguins. There goes my Lulu fish. We're down to 8. Krabby Mike with that wall crawl takes out Cesaro NLV and Too High. We're down to 6. It's Tides Tuesday. Of this game and one more before top of the hour. And that raid. Parrot and RCP ADG both taken out by Big Worm with that hook. Down to the final 4. Autumn's Toys. Bo Reddington. Jess Tony. And then Wombat Warrior gets taken out by that cannonball. We're down to 3. Scurvybot's giving out Nash Cash, or you can dig. No dig pass needed. There's a 15-minute cooldown, though. Debo. Exit stage right, unable to take anybody out. Bo Reddington, Autumn's Toys, and Jess Tony. The final 3. Those consumer break cards on the line. The Lambo making it rain for Bo Reddington. Big Worm trying to hide in that post on that Twitchy Tide sign. There goes Jess Tony. And we're down to the final two. It's King Claw versus the Lambo. Autumn's Toys taking on Bo Reddington. Last two here in this Twitchy Tides game. Now it's Debo. Can Bo Reddington get the bounce? Indeed. Sometimes it's not clear on that initially. Oh, Pink Felicia. It's Bo Reddington uses that Lambo, leaving the screen. Autumn's Toys. Those minions. Managed to take out Pink Felicia. Like Felicia was closing in there. And the minions in that defensive protection there. King Claw didn't mess around. Legendary battle here. Now it's Debo. Debo takes out Autumn's Toys, and that's the game. And what a run here for Bo Reddington. That's 4 out of the last 5 games. If that's happened here before, I don't remember it. That's impressive. And it's not like these have been a bunch of 10-person games. And this one had 19 even. It was the ones prior had even more. So impressive work there. Bo Reddington victorious here. That's 5 overall out of 17. Of course, in addition to the victory, leaderboard points for the top 10. So for Jamie Penguins on up, top 10 finish, all the way to number 1. And your winner once again with that Lambo, Bo Reddington, victorious. All right. Open now for the last Twitchy Tides game of the broadcast for me. We can get in right now with exclamation mark play. The winner of this game is going to win a scarce Twitchy Tides fish. Rip Current Ricky. Going to go to the winner. Of course, once we get to top of the hour, we're doing that raid over to Cartman Bra. He's got a lot of fun things lined up for the next 5 hours. From there, Tricky Creates, Las Vegas Ape, Mortal Wombats, Master Owl, Imahala, FFS Kid, and Vulnerability Agents. Quite the lineup there. And again, many thanks to Las Vegas Ape for the hard work he does setting this up every week. Scurvy Bot, giving out that Nash cash, still is. Of course, you don't need a dig pass, so sure you get that last dig in. Of course, there's a 15-minute cooldown as well with that, but for those that haven't in the last little bit, hopefully have one more chance to dig before we say goodbye and do that raid over to Cartman Bra. But of higher interest right now is this next game, because the winner's going to get that scarce fish. Somebody's going to win this Rip Current Ricky. Bo Reddington's won 4 of the last 5 games. I'm pretty sure this never happened here. I can tell you with almost certainty I've never had 5 out of 6. That would be something. Easier said than done, though, with Twitchy Tides. This game can be challenging. Sometimes you just get a tough draw. You have a depth charge, for example, show up right underneath you. Not much you can do. So it's exclamation mark play to get in for this 18th and final game for my portion of Tides Tuesday. So my hope for next week is that I'd be able to do the this exact time next week. Have like a 1-hour show. Maybe juice it up real big. If that's a limited spot, then we'll try and pop the house a little bit with something a little different. But I have to touch base with Las Vegas 8 because he might already have something earmarked for that. I don't want to speak for time that's already booked elsewhere. That's the thing with Twitchy Tides. It's not my gig. I'm just part of it. I'm incredibly appreciative of the hard work that goes into making it when it happens. Because the train, this raid train, because this game holds an audience so well. I mean, the normal rules of broadcasting, when normally you'd have this time of night, U.S. time, a fade. That didn't really happen with Twitchy Tides. Not with Tides Tuesday. So a scarce fish is on the line for the winner of this 18th and final game of the broadcast. We'll get started with here in just a moment. So last chance to get in here for this last game for my part of it with exclamation mark play in chat. Remember, if you got a link to Wax Wallet, ScurvyBot is giving out that Nash cash. Pick the name because it rhymed. It's not actual legal tender, mind you, but you can use that to dig. With that ScurvyBot dig pool every 15 minutes when I'm here live. And again, this is more me kind of doing an introductory test, changing a couple of variables, seeing what happens if we don't have a dig pass needed. What happens if we try it with a couple of things a little bit different? Because there's some very creative people that have done some very interesting things with dig passes and boosters. Okay, I'm going to watch and see what I can learn from them. I'm going to try a couple of things differently, and we'll see. The creativity you have, just to have that kind of latitude. And just not the norm of broadcasting. Okay, I need to go ahead and make sure we don't get top of the hour sneaking up on us. Let's take the overlay down. Absolute last chance to get in here. Exclamation point play. Sticking with Lulu. One more for the road. Make that gets it to an even 20. Along with anybody else that might do a late run-in. So if you're going to do a late run-in, they're about to ring the bell. So 20 players in for this 18th game. And remember, the winner is going to win that scarce Rip Current Ricky. Along with an item from the NashvilleLou collection. 21 players in. If I win, the prize goes to second place. And this 18th Twitchy Tides game with the broadcast here on Tides Tuesday begins now. Good luck. There's the Lambo. Bo Reddington making it rain. Meanwhile, Depth Charge takes out Cartman Bra and Autumn's Toys down to 19. Make that 17. Just Tony and Random King out as well. There's a scarce fish on the line for the winner. Cannonball. Jamie Penguins, Pennyback Jr. and Bo Reddington taken out. Down to 14. Well, Bo Reddington denied a chance at 5 out of 6. That 4 out of 5 is going to be really tough for somebody to beat. That's impressive. There's Debo taking out Fawny T and Wombat Warrior. Down to a dozen. The website URL in that bottom right corner is twitchytides.io. That's a website. The official website is twitchytides.io. You can learn many things about this game, about how to set up a Wax wallet. Any questions? There's a lot more to this game than just what I show you on stream. Lynn PH is out, so am I. We're down to 10. So remaining players, you got a top 10 finish. More than half the field is out. With a scarce fish on the line for the winner. Who's going to win that Rip Current Ricky? It's Pink Felicia coming through, taking out DeBoer JS and Funko Lover. We're down to 8. Pink Felicia stings too high in DYLC. We're down to 6. No, says too high. The Minions from King Claw. Finding a defensive shield on that bottom left side. There's the Rampage Direct. This is the first time I've seen this, was here on stream tonight. Or if I saw it before, I don't recall it. Certainly stands out. In a fun new twist, a new edition. They keep it fresh and fun with Twitchy Tides. As we hit 1 a.m. Eastern, it's NashvilleLou live with Scarce Fish on the line. As soon as we finish here, we'll be doing a raid over to Carbon Bra. This Tides Tuesday train keeps it chugging. There are people around the world that love this game. I mean, to me, the proof was on Christmas Eve. Then on New Year's Eve, are you kidding me? People watching the ball drop? No, they're watching fish. With me, I loved it. Swim Dodge Vince hits a depth charge. We're down to 5. Depth charge takes out Zach Bonifer. We're down to 4. Chucky, Azile, Cesaro NLV, and Dirac. Here comes Debo. Azile, nice timing with the frostbite. Where somebody's going to win a Rip Current Ricky. That's a Scarce Fish. Chucky gets taken out, as does Dirac. That's the maximum kills for that appearance for Debo. It's down to the final 2. Azile and Cesaro NLV. One of you two's about to win. Who's going to get that Rip Current Ricky? Look out. Felicia. Felicia stings Azile, and that's the game. So congratulations, Cesaro NLV. Winner in game number 9. And the winner here of that Scarce Rip Current Ricky here in game number 18, plus an item from the NashvilleLou collection. All right, so my notes are up to speed. Remember, prizes will be sent out shortly after the conclusion of the broadcast. They'll be sent out in the order they were won. My fulfillment swats. So for DeBoer on up a top 10 finish, all the way to number 1 and your winner. And that Scarce Fish, Cesaro NLV, victorious. Another fun 3 hours here with you on Twitchy Tides Tuesday. Great fun with that. Had a blast with you. Now take the ride with me over here now, please, to the next portion. You see it there. Carbon Bra. He's got his countdown show. If that's not already over yet, I'm ready to go here in just a moment. So that's going to do it for this broadcast of NashvilleLou Live. I'm your host, Lou Pickney. Thanks for watching. See you next time. And now let's do that raid over to Carbon Bra. See you over there. Bye for now.